collectibles, furniture, and more. And vendor space is available by calling 704-852-7055. Check out some of the booths at whatsupshopper.com and online at GastonPickers.net. Like them on Facebook too. Gaston Pickers, 503 Long Avenue in Gastonia, or exit 19 off I-85. Congratulations to Gaston Pickers, celebrating 10 years of business.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Starting a new fall project, Bridges Hardware in Kings Mountain is a place to go for cold weather plants, lawn supplies, grills, fire pits, and patio heaters, indoor and outdoor paints, and more. They're right in your neighborhood, ready to help you. Locally owned and operated, they know your name. Walk in and they treat you like family. They're all about relationships and community. That's what makes them locally strong. Stop in Bridges Hardware today. Why would you shop anywhere else? Bridges Hardware at the corner of King and Castle Streets in Kings Mountain. Call 704-739-5461. Just in time for Christmas. A fantastic year-end special on all in-stock pool tables at Tom's Tables on the Dallas-Cherryville Highway. Come in now and take $100 off any table in stock, just in time for Christmas. And that includes setup and delivery. Come in now and pick out one of these beautiful tables for some great family fun at Tom's Tables, located at Pink's Auto Sales, 7507 Dallas-Cherryville Highway. You can visit them online at tomstables.com and like them on Facebook too.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Morning Sports Talk. I'm Kevin Hastings, along with Shannon Allen is in the house this morning, Terry Reinhart, and Tom Sinifani. And the most important thing, the biscuits are here. Delivered by Calvin Hastings.
Yeah, thank you, McDonald's, for providing those biscuits. And thank you to Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-7877. Give them a call for all your heating and air needs. They've got some specials going on. If you need service or installation, give them a call. Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-7877.
All right, Terry, scores from last night, if you don't mind, for the local high school football teams here in the area.
Yeah, it was Mount Airy defeating Eastern Randolph last night, 35-17. It was Reidsville over Maiden, 34-7. It was South Point defeating Eastern Guilford, 28-25. Drone defeats Andrews, 42-21. It was Monroe losing to the Burns Bulldogs, 49-40. East Lincoln defeats Kings Mountain, 46-20. Grimsley over Huff High School, 40-37 in 3 overtimes. and Weddington survives AC Reynolds 17-10 in their matchup.
All right, so future matchups. Number 4, Mount Airy. Granite Bears will host the number 6 Strong Wildcats in the 1A. In the 2A, the number 1 Reedsville Rams will host the number 3 Burns Bulldogs. And in the 3A, the number 4 East Lincoln Mustangs will host the South Point Red Raiders. And in the 4A, big battle last night, Grimsley, the 1A, holds on, and they'll host Weddington, the number 9 seed Warriors in the 4A. For our broadcast next week, we'll have Burns and Reedsville on WOHS 101.5 FM, 1390 AM, and YouTube, as always. And of course, always looking for sponsors to help broadcast these games. We got to get Tom to Reedsville back, so we need some gas money and some sponsor. Maybe McDonald's will sponsor your ride there and back, Tom. And
we'll figure it out.
We'll get you up there. The schools and everything. Got to pay for that bus money too. So
that's right.
Hey, you might be on the charter bus. What are you talking about, Tom? You ride the charter bus all the way to Reedsville?
You know what? I'd take him up on that. Probably would. It's a long ride to Reedsville.
So we'll have that broadcast next week. Also, East Lincoln, David Potter and Jason Sane will have the Mustangs hosting the Red Raiders next week on 92.9 FM, 1590 AM. And you can listen, of course, always on LincolnCounty.com YouTube audio-only channel. So the Mustangs, Red Raiders, Bulldogs, and Drone, if anybody can pick us up there this morning in that area. You guys are headed to the Western Finals with a chance to go to the state championship. Congratulations to all those teams, and we talked pretty much everybody last night, but Tom, with Shannon and Steve here, I'll let them. We talked Burns last night. If you want to kind of talk a little bit about this game. Bulldogs back and forth last couple of weeks. We kind of talked in the studio. The mobile quarterback has given the D-line or lineman, whoever's given Bulldogs a little issues chasing them around. Extra time in the pocket.
Yeah.
It has killed you, I believe, just going back and forth between the games. Like, it's not like you're just not making plays, the extra time in the pocket, but your DBs, knocking passes down, picking them off. They've played, Ryan Thompson's been a star out there. Shannon has been talking about how well he's been. Ben Mooney threw some great touch passes last night, also, you guys were there in person. I could just see on film, on the video, the arm or the quarterback from Monroe. He had a nice little. He's pretty good. A nice little arm as well.
And he could step up and he could take off and run. He had the one touchdown run. And what was killing us is that crossing pattern. I mean, I know you saw it if you watched it. Somebody was getting lost over the middle. Somebody's getting lost across the middle every time, and they're gonna have to look at that on the film. And they went to it so many times. I'm like, are they gonna slide somebody down there to sit on that route? I thought they would do that, but they just never did. And that worked consistently all night. What I was most impressed with, too, that is a run defense for Burns. I thought their run defense was pretty good. Now, a couple times Robinson broke contain and got some nice runs. But against the standard, they tried to go looked like they tried to go a little power eye, a little ISO, a couple times. That didn't really work. Our defensive front did a good job on that. But in the secondary, like I said, I'm not really sure what Reedsville likes to do, but they might be some communication or something about who's got this guy and who's got that guy, because there were some guys running wide open over the middle. A couple of their touchdowns, Shannon, you saw, there was nobody near them.
Yeah, they were.
So they have to, they're going to have to tighten that down. And Ryan Thompson, 5 touchdowns. He just went crazy last night. He's just running the ball, catching the ball, playing defense. He just had a tremendous game last night, and he's got to put together a performance like that or better if they're going to beat the Reedsville Rams, because they're really good. And I knew that, at one point it was 20 something to nothing. And, they shut out. Maton's a pretty high powered offense. So is Chase. They shut Chase out. So I'm just telling you, they better dial up some plays for next week, because that Reedsville defense is the real deal.
Of course, we always talk about the defenses, wins championships. And, you guys, as far as points wise, have done a great job this year. Tom, coming in last night's game, only 133 on the season in 13 games, but with 40 last night. A couple of things, the crossing patterns. If you fix one thing on that, you're gonna have it end up with an interception. So
your corners are good, right?
Yeah,
pretty good. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if your corners are good, your safety's got to come up and play the middle, or your middle linebacker has got to fall
He's
back.
Got to get his depth.
Yeah,
right. It's just one small. Yeah, it's just one small adjustment, I think, and that crossing will get picked off. Ryan Thompson.
As long as your front line is good in the middle of playing.
It's harder. I think it's just harder in high school to adjust.
You also got to understand the quarterback you were playing last night had a laser arm.
Yeah, he was pretty. Yeah,
a couple of those. That's the hard throw over the middle because, like Terry's just saying, so the guys you don't see are the ones that end up knocking it down or picking it off a lot of times on that because you see your guy wide open. I don't want to throw a touchdown at Shell because my backside tight end knocked the pass down. I didn't see him cross it underneath. Anything over the middle like that, and that quarterback, he got room. He got space, and he saw what he's doing, and then he lasered it in there. So I don't know Reidsville, but bad news for that, though, for you guys looking at their stats. We should have had Paul call in this morning and kind of talk a little bit about it. But for them, because he's seen them in person, they only got their leading rushers only getting 49 yards a game. So they're not pounding the ball or anything. They are throwing it. 28 touchdowns, I think the quarterback had. 26 touchdowns on the season. The backup quarterback has 10. So 36 touchdown passes on the season. So it looks like you will be in your dime or nickel defense for a lot of Friday night. Looking at their schedule, Tom.
Got to get a little pressure on the quarterback.
They lost to Greensboro Page. They gave up 28 to Eastern Alamance in a win, 35-28. Blew out the rest of everybody else. For the most part, Providence Grove gave them a nice run, 25 points on them. Is the best.
And that game was close. That game was close in the first quarter, and by halfway through the second, then Reidsville started pulling away.
But then Reidsville's just handed it to our local teams the last 2 weeks, 64-7 combined over Chase and Maiden, who were in our top 5 teams. But Tom, I do think you got more weapons, and got a good chance here. Reidsville to go to the state championship. Anything can happen in a football game, a turnover here, a turnover there. What's good for you guys, Tom? You have a pretty decent kicking game. We've seen some teams.
Camacho's really come on. Yeah.
We've seen some teams lose games in the playoffs over the years because of that. And I think you guys. I'm not saying he's going to not miss anything. He's pretty solid, like you said, and it's good to have. If you could bang a field goal here and there. Huff last night hung in that game all last night because they kept hitting field goals early on instead of touchdowns. That might have cost them not winning the game at the end, obviously, but they got to overtime because they kicked 3 or 4 field goals there early.
Yeah.
So just get all the points you can.
Kickoffs, they need to make a little adjustment, too. I mean, a couple of times on the kick. You saw the one time when they got the penalty. That was tough. Yeah. The penalty right at halftime on a garbage interception. The interception really meant nothing, and then you get the face mask, and now you're kicking off from your 20.
He ripped his helmet off.
Yeah. I guess he did. I saw him go in. I mean, some of these kids, they only got the one chin strap button or whatever. I'm not sure really what happened, but yeah, I mean, it was a penalty. And then once you get that, once you're backed up kicking off from your 20, and they catch it about the 45, and then there he goes down to the 20-yard line, and next play, boom, score a touchdown. Special teams, Kevin made a good point. You better have it all straightened out. But I've got a lot of faith in Ainsley Camacho. He's really come on, and he hasn't missed an extra point his last couple games. So, and that's big. Monroe got in that situation where they didn't convert on a couple of extra points, and then had a missed 2-point. That made it a 2-score game. And Coach Cogdell was watching, and he said, you have to kick the extra point there to make that a 1-score game. Because in a 2-score game, the offensive strategy changes big time.
There's like 2 minutes left or 3 minutes left in the game?
Right, you put more pressure on their offense if it's a 1-score game, because now they've got to get that first down. If they don't, they can sort of, all right, we don't have to get this one because now you have to score twice. So I think it put a lot more pressure on Monroe's defense, and it'll put a lot more pressure on their offense to make that a 2-score instead of.
All right, Tom, hit the computer there. So, I got just some highlights here, Tom. Of the game. I can't get myself through. All right, Shannon's Monroe Band. Shannon said they put on a good show last night. And then, of course, the Corrugated Pyrotechnics. Shannon's having some kind of inebriated conversation in the stands. It sounds.
Shannon wasn't inebriated. They went beside Shannon.
They were oohing on over your fireworks.
Oh, man. That's worth the price of admission right there.
He got a bite. He sneezed burgers.
I only wish I knew what Shannon Steele explained what's going on there. 7-0 Bulldogs took the lead here.
Look at that wide open. It looked like the corner bit, like he was going to come up and play the run, and Ryan ran right behind him. See him?
Yeah.
He's on him, and he looked like he was coming up. He bit on something, and it was just a touchdown. He's wide open.
Next pass right down the middle. Kamari Surratt.
Yeah, he dropped that one in the bucket. That was just a great throw.
And him and Surratt connected on 2 big throws in this game. Then Monroe scores. Rolling right corner of the end zone, dives, touchdown for the Red Hawks. And that's it. And then Mooney, good pass down the middle, hits Ryan Thompson. I'll say his name quite a bit. That made it 21-6 Bulldogs. A lot of Mooney's passes last night were good, beautiful little touch passes over the top of people. That's one of the hardest throws to make. Fake handoff, and then around the end.
I thought he was going to walk in. I never even saw LJ come over there and hit him or Surratt.
So the quarterback for Monroe took it over the left side about 20.
Nobody's there. Nobody's there.
Somebody messed up their assignment. Mooney rolls right. This makes it 28-14. Finds Thompson, who got missing deep down the right sidelines. And you can see the miscommunication here from the Monroe defense.
They had 2 guys on the short guy there.
Right. Tom, they did right. Those up guys.
Yeah.
Because linebackers just coming over to help out. The corner did right. What they're arguing about is this safety should have been over.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't get there. And then watch them, they'll turn around and they're like, what are y'all doing? So these 2 were in agreement on whatever defense they were in there. The one chasing the guy in the touchdown was not. So that they were. I'm guessing they were in a mix up in cover 2 and 3.
See, there was nobody near him there.
Yeah.
So who scored 6? I don't even see him in the front. Oh, here's why.
It's a throwback.
No. Watch him. This looks like a West Lincoln right here. It's tight end, block, fake, and then he leaked out the other side. He tight end blocked for a sec. They came out the other side. Watch him block, release. Nobody. And then Shannon and the commentators over there.
That wasn't me.
28-28. That's the pass I'm talking about, Tom. That just fired it over the middle. What was his name, quarterback?
Robinson.
That right there. Yep. That's a good pass. And that's the ones that see, like, you can't float that ball over the middle like that. A good quarterback's got to be able to just fire that in there, and he did. One more time, 28-28. Monroe and the Bulldogs.
Now watch this laser.
Over the top, the DB, the backside safety, thought he had a pick. You'll watch him, Tom. His hands were right on it, and then Surratt takes it right out of his hands.
That's just a great exercise. High school, it's next level.
Good pass, good catch all around, good play, Bulldogs, and then Shannon jamming in the Monroe. They gave him a symbol, Tom, to help. You could have brought your kazoo. That's Shannon right there on the bottom left. with the
cake, the rocket, or the rolling, whatever he's doing, the worm.
There's a name for that. I was doing that to describe the instrument, but the saxophone. And then Shannon again. This time he's on the tuba. Shannon did a good job at it, like directing the Monroe band over there. All right, there's some more from them. All right, Bulldogs then, Tom, went up 42-28 on this one. Thompson again.
He ate him alive. He absolutely ate him alive on that pass.
That's a back foot throw, about 30 yards. That's a good pass.
He ate him alive. Ate him alive.
And we got some Bulldogs band. Now that's from the other side of the stadium, so Shannon wasn't like in the middle of this.
Are they not allowing you on that side?
There's so many people. I just sat on the road because you just stand there and get a better view.
That ain't him, Steve.
Yeah, I'm not Steve. Still let me over.
I was just asking, man.
42-34, and Monroe misses the extra point here, makes it an 8-point ball game, and we just kept, wanting Burns to pull away. Then Shannon, but Monroe's pretty good offense. Quarterback's good. Thompson then runs it in. He did he sell popcorn last night?
He did. I mean, he did everything. Plus, he had an 80-yard touchdown run called back. But with Terry, I agree with what you were saying before we went on the air about next week's going to be a totally different team, and Burns is going to have to get a lot better to stop Reeves. Monroe was good, but Reeves was going to be a lot better. There's no doubt about that.
Monroe rolling off into the game. Floater picked off. Lamont Wilson. The Bulldogs win. KTC broadcast. Congratulations, Bulldogs. Final scores again across the area. 35-17 Mount Airy over Eastern Randolph. They'll host the Drone Wildcats, who won 42-21 over Andrews. Reedsville 34-7 over Maiden. They'll host the Bulldogs, who won 49-40 over Monroe. I should let y'all do that while I go play commercials. Well, Grimsley in the 4A wins 40-37 over Huff. They'll host the number 9 seed Weddington, who won 17-10 over AC Reynolds, and East Lincoln 46-20 over Kings Mountain, and then South Point won 28-25 over Eastern Guilford. One more time, Tom, if you would and can do the math, or if one of y'all can see the screen there, go over the matchups while I get ready for commercial.
Okay, so the matchups next week is Mount Airy defeated Eastern Randolph and Drone defeated Andrews. I've got Drone going to Mount Airy, correct?
Correct.
And then it'll be Reedsville hosting Burns. And then South Point. We didn't talk too much about South Point, did we, Terry? But South Point, I tell you what, they just find ways to win. And they win against Eastern Guilford. Of course, Eastern Guilford was a bit of a Cinderella story, too, at a 23 seed. So South Point defeats them at home. But how many home games does 11 seed get, Terry? They've gotten, 3 out of 4 home games. Because they got to host the first round. They got to host Crest. They got to host Eastern Guilford. And then they will go to East Lincoln. Now, people are talking about that game, Terry, and that Redbone offense, and how maybe East Lincoln hasn't seen anything like it this year. But Matt Beam is on that staff, and he's seen it before.
Oh, he's seen it. He's seen it plenty of times.
He's seen it before. So, I know Matt's an offensive guy, but I guarantee you they're going to be talking about what they need to do against that Redbone offense.
And I try to tell people, that's like I was saying last night, if South Point scores 21, East Lincoln, that's like the Kings Mountain game. It was 46-7. And they scored a couple there at the end. Don't get me wrong. I know East Lincoln still had some of their top picks in there. But when you're up 46-7, your defense is not as strong because you got such a great big lead.
They're not playing as aggressive.
That's exactly. And for South Point to come in, South Point, they're gonna get yardage running. It's gonna happen. But East Lincoln's gonna be able to score on them. So
that East Lincoln team is really good.
Yeah, they're really good.
Man,
they are really good.
Because they just manhandled Kings Mountain at their place.
Not a Kings Mountain person alive would have said they would have scored 46, and the way they did it is the big thing. All the big plays that was over the middle and long touchdowns.
That game was never close either.
Yeah.
It was never close.
I think there was a few kinks in the armor in that West Charlotte game. That's what made me doubt them a little bit, that maybe there were some issues, because I think Kings Mountain should have rolled West Charlotte. Based on some of the previous results. When I saw that, I had some buddies texting me and said, "What do you think of that East Lincoln Kings Mountain game?" I said, "I'd really like to see my friend Greg Lloyd win that ball game, because he's had a great season and he deserves it, and he's a great coach and a good man, and he's been close so many times." But I was just thinking to myself, I said, I just don't think they can beat East Lincoln. I mean, I just don't. I just think East Lincoln's too good. I don't think they would have had to play a perfect game to beat them. I mean, that's how good I believe East Lincoln is. I know they're a 4 seed because of their schedule. Wasn't maybe as tough as some others, but I'm telling you, if they get by South Point, whoever's in the East is going to take a beat down from the East Lincoln Mustangs. And then the 4A, which we don't keep up with too much, Grimsley defeats Huff 40-37.
3 overtimes.
Yeah, so Grimsley, the number 1 seed, they will host Weddington, who seems like they're there every year.
I want to say something about Weddington. Weddington reminds me a lot of Charlotte Catholic. They're not going to beat theirself.
Right.
So, if you can get ahead of them, I think you really got a good chance of winning these games. But if you let Weddington hang around, I mean, that's like last night against AC Reno. It was 17-3 there for a long time, and AC Reno scored that, make it 17-10. But that game never was really close. Weddington pretty much handled everything that AC Reynolds threw out there. And AC Reynolds does have a lot of talent, a lot of speed on that team. And we saw what they did to Shelby earlier in the year, and for them to really just take control of that game. But Weddington's another team that's not going to beat theirself. You've got to beat them or make something happen.
And that was a good AC Reynolds team. Remember way back in August, they manhandled Shelby.
Yeah.
And Weddington had to climb the mountain to go up there. That is a long ride from Union County all the way up to Buncombe County. I mean, that's probably what, boys? 2 hours, 10 minutes, 2 hours, 20 minutes? That's a long ride for young men. And it did help. I think something that helped the road teams yesterday, was the fact they didn't have school. They were off.
Yeah.
That makes it a lot easier. You don't have to worry about all that, getting them out of class. And, they got up at 8 o'clock in the morning and all that. So,
and probably left a little early to have a couple stops along the way.
Right. So it's not so bad. So that kind of helped the road teams in this game. But that sets up a big one. Weddington at Greensboro Grimsley for the right to go to the 4A Western, right to represent the West in the state championship game. So, congratulations to all the teams that have made it thus far. I was hoping Maiden would have a better showing against Reedsville, Terry, but I'm telling you that. I just think that Reedsville team's, they've been there before too. They're there every year. That's going to be a tall order to get on a bus, ride up 3 hours, and go beat them on their field.
And you always want to sit back and say that, you're going to have to probably run through them either because sometimes they're in the East, sometimes they're in the West. Yeah. And, I guess, do you want them over here where you have to go through them early to make the championship game? I guess maybe that's true. I don't know how a lot of people would look at that. I'd rather face them early than face them in a state championship game. Yeah. But at least when you get to state championship game, all you got to do is perform one day. Yeah. It's not going to have to be performed this day and then you're going to have to perform another day. But we're Reedsville, man for man. They as quick as anybody out there, player for player. I mean, they got a lot of guys, 17 Division I players on this team. So
really,
yeah. So
17
of them.
That's going to be a tall order. I mean, they're. But the only way you're guaranteed not to win is if you're not there.
No, that's true. That's true. And I mean, that's like me. I sit back and I try to tell people. And a lot of people say, well, you give your honest opinion. I do. I try to give my honest opinion when it comes to high school because, I mean, that's a long ride to Reedsville. I mean, it seems like you're never going to get there, and when you finally do, and then you're talking about a team here, and let me put this straight. Burns will not be affected. This is a team that will talk crap to you when you're getting off your bus.
Yeah.
They will talk crap to you. They will talk crap to your coaches. Yeah. They will talk crap to everybody getting off that bus like, hey, we are who we are. All you got to do is look, so.
Well, we look forward to the challenge next week. We look forward to it. Is Kevin in there? We're going, okay, yeah. So, all right, Kevin's going to take us to a break. We'll be right back on the Saturday Morning Sports Talk. Where's JP today? He's in a wreck.
Yeah, he totaled his car.
No. Yeah. This morning or? 9 minutes to read a 14 bracket. Well, I didn't know what you were. I'm sorry.
We didn't see you in there, really.
We didn't see you in there.
I had my feet up, and
I was looking over there. I was like, because I looked once and didn't see you.
I was waiting.
I thought you were talking to Calvin.
Pass the food out. I had a sausage and cheese biscuit.
My fault, Cal. I thought you had to go talk to Calvin about something.
Shannon, where you going? Oh.
Did JP wreck this morning?
Yesterday, last night.
Going home?
Oh, no, after he got the food, on the way here with the food.
Damn it.
Save the ribs, though.
I know.
Financing offers available on 22 to 110 horsepower tractors, utility vehicles, and zero-turn mowers. Coyote, we dig dirt. Offer cannot be combined. Financing subject to credit approval. Some restrictions apply. See your authorized Coyote tractor dealer for details.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, 27 West intersection in Vail. The holidays are fast approaching, and for your party, there's nothing better than a big party pack from Hillbilly's Barbecue and Steaks in Lowell. Choose from pork, chicken, beef, or a combination with all of your favorite sides, plates, cups, eating utensils, serving utensils, and delivery is available. Just call for pricing at 704-824-8838. And don't forget, they have employment opportunities, including management positions. Hillbilly's Barbecue and Steaks, 305 South Main Street in Lowell, where it's easy in and easy out.
It's like 1, 2, 3 at the new Appliance Center in Shelby and Forest City. Buy one appliance and get it delivered for $35. Buy two appliances and get them delivered for $60. Or buy three appliances and get them delivered for $75. Plus buy a refrigerator priced over $1,000 and get it delivered free. At the Appliance Center, 508 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby and 793 West Main Street in Forest City. Online at theappliancecenter.com and like them on Facebook too.
There's nothing like cash in your pocket, especially if you can turn your scrap into cash with the help of Gaston Used Auto Parts and Recycling in Gastonia. For over 25 years, this locally family-owned and operated business has been giving some of the best prices for scrap. They take tungsten scrap carbide, as well as stainless steel, aluminum, copper, and brass. Need help? Gaston Used Auto Parts and Recycling will supply you with a roll-off container to help make your recycling easy. Turn your scrap into cash with the help of Gaston Used Auto Parts and Recycling. 305 Dogwood Street in Gastonia. Call 704-827-9468. Online at GastonUsedAutoPartsAndRecycling.com.
We're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk, brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com, for all your heating and air needs. And I tell you what, not having JP creates some issues that I didn't realize here. I didn't realize they're eating their biscuits.
Yeah,
they're trying to swallow. They're trying to swallow their last bit of biscuit here. So I guess I'm having my own monologue here. But hopefully, when JP gets back, things will get back to normal around here.
And JP, we're sorry for what happened to you, buddy. But hey, life goes on. You fix it and you go move on, buddy.
He's safe. That's the good thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. And JP had a little fender bender this morning. He's okay. Sure as the cars can be fixed.
Well, he got the food. He said he's excited. He's hungry. He got up here to turn for Shannon. Got a little excited and tried to bump draft somebody. Didn't work. Got a little loose into the wall, and Dennis had to go pick him up. But he is okay. All right. Excuse me. Welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk, brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. And we are stuffing our faces with our McDonald's breakfast this morning.
I was not stuffing my face because I'm at work. These guys over here just couldn't wait.
Well, we showed up hungry on time, Tom.
I was on time. I was not late.
I used to go to school with people like you in college, and we would have we'd have intramural games, and the game would start at 6:00. And my roommates, I would go warm up early and get there. My roommates would show up at 5:58, stand there with their cards wanting the official score to check them in while we're flipping the coins, and be like, what? We're here on time.
I will say, usually I'm early, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you, Kevin. I had a hard time going to sleep last night.
Oh, going to sleep? I was going to say getting up.
I just could not get to sleep because I think it was just that game. You just all keyed up, and then you get home, and I probably didn't go to sleep till 1:30 or 2. And then I had doggy duty this morning.
You got to leave the bonfire earlier, Tom.
Yeah, I know. Got to leave the bonfire earlier, but just want to say that usually I am here. Usually I beat most of y'all here.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Wrong answer.
Yeah, I know, right?
I beat you here today. I beat you here today.
Oh,
Terry lives. Terry lives the closest. Spring. Yeah, Terry lives the closest, I think.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
Terry, how long does it take you to get here? 8 minutes?
A little bit longer than 8 minutes.
11?
Maybe a little bit longer.
I can Google that real
That
quick.
takes me about 15.
Well, anyway, Saturday Morning Sports Talk, we got college football today. Had some college football last night into our broadcast. The Wolfpack win last night over the Tar Heels.
After Terry just, trash talked his own team all week.
Oh, he was awful about it. And then he had the audacity as soon as they win. How about them Wolfpack?
Yeah, he's running his mouth about Carolina. I'm like, wasn't this guy just trash talking his own team all week?
He turned down tickets. They're garbage. I don't want to see them.
You didn't go? You
didn't go.
No.
He didn't want to go see them.
No.
And then he has the audacity to text us. How about them Wolfpack?
And all you had to do is listen to Dennis Davis last night because he said right here and even said it exactly what I would have said. State gave Carolina every opportunity in the world to take that game. Every opportunity in the world. One time we're sitting over there, and I'm talking 10 of the 11 guys that's out there on defense are looking over at their coaches saying, what we running? What we running? They're putting their hands up. Drake May's up at the line. They getting ready to run a play, and we're going, what are we running? Get in the game. Get with it. That's how come, let me put this as simple as it can be. North Carolina State's never going to win a national championship until you have the place called. You cannot be having your team when Carolina's at the 10-yard line, standing out here and running what we're running. Give the call. We give it to them. Quit waiting. It bothers me. And a good thing for State is I never knew we was 4 quarterbacks deep. Honest to God. That's our 4th quarterback we stuck out there this year. And every time they bring Chambers in, I just fizzle because I'm like, he's either going to run it and cough it up. And what did he do one time? He run it and coughed it up. Carolina gets the recovery, and I'm like, get the guy out of here. But then, Morris is hurt, Leary's out. And then we go to Bo Finley. Bo Finley, the guy is a decent quarterback, but he's not Ryan Finley.
Right.
But he's played well. He's come in and did his job. But, come on, guys. You're the coaches.
Terry,
Quit letting your team stand out there and wait on y'all to make calls when the other team's up at the line of scrimmage getting ready to run the ball or pass the ball, either one.
Are you saying since Drake May can't beat the 4th-string quarterback at NC State that he should move to linebacker next year?
No. He'd never... He'd not become a linebacker.
He never lets us go. He brings us up every
show.
Let it go, Kevin. Kevin, let it go. I don't mind.
You should not win the Heisman, right, Tom? That's what I'm leading to.
Well, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be beat
anyway.
I was about to say, when Terry said North Carolina State will never win a national championship, you didn't have to say anything else, Terry. That says it all. You could just stop right there because that's never going to happen, Terry. That's never going to happen at NC State. They'll never win an ACC championship. You know why? Because their fans are like you, Terry. Their fans are fair weather fans. Dogging them out before the big game. Dogging out their own team. Yeah.
I'm not
how terrible they were. How terrible they were. How Carolina's going to kill them. How I'm not going up to watch them. You just dogging them out.
You've been a coach. I've been a coach.
I have.
I knew what my team was going to do before we ever got there. I've already got the play called. You cannot continue to have your team looking to you, putting their hands up in the air like, what are we running? Even the announcers are saying it. Like, these guys are looking over here. You're their leader, and you're not making a call.
Maybe the microphone in the middle linebacker's helmet wasn't working.
Not when all 10 of the 11 are looking over. Come on, guys. Tell us what to run.
I'm not sure, but I tell you what, I've just never met a guy who's spent Shannon, I don't know if you're in the thread, but I'm just all this stuff's popping up. We're terrible. We'll never win.
I'm not in it.
We're gonna get killed.
Which one it
and then
is.
as
not the point of that.
Well, there's like nine.
And then as soon as they won,
as a Carolina fan, and I'm not one. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But
obvious.
if I was a Carolina fan now, I would be sitting back right now going, Mac, what happened? We got beat by Georgia Tech, and then we let a fourth-string quarterback beat us from North Carolina
and you're still
State.
going to the ACC championship.
Yeah, but you're going to the ACC championship. And here's my thing: if you think Carolina's going to go down there and beat Clemson, come on, get a real job, because that's not going to happen. Clemson's going to beat them by 3 touchdowns.
What's the prediction have to do with your job?
I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm trying to connect those.
Get a clue is what you were probably looking for there, Terry. Get a clue is what you meant to say. Not get a job. Get a clue. I've heard baseball coaches.
Did Florida State and Carolina play this year? Did they play each other this year?
Who's that?
Florida State and Carolina.
I don't think so.
No.
So they're both 9-3. So if this wasn't a split conference, you would have a chance for Florida State to actually be in this game.
Did they win last night, Florida State?
Yeah, they did.
They made a great. I mean, I heard a great
Carolina's
case.
6-2, Florida State's 5-3. So no, that wouldn't be.
that the divisions are hurting college football, and I agree.
That's hurting ACC.
It's hurting the Big Ten too.
It's hurting, yeah.
Because whoever wins this Michigan-Ohio State game, really, there should be a rematch next week. Whoever wins this game, there should be a rematch next week. Those are the best 2 teams in the Big Ten. Instead, the winner is going to play Purdue, Illinois, somebody like that. That's had a terrible year. Well, Illinois had a pretty good year, but you see when they play the big boys. I mean, Michigan. I mean, I think they were putting the cheerleaders in at running back last week, and Illinois still couldn't beat them.
But now here we go again with that same thing. Remember when me and Kevin sits in here every week? If you're not in your championship game, and you should not be part of the daggum Final Four.
And I agree. And people are talking about should the Ohio State Michigan loser get in? Now my heart will say, yeah, please let my team in anyway. But if I was a neutral party, no, you don't get in if you didn't get to your championship game. However flawed these divisions are, you're gonna play a Purdue, whoever wins, or Iowa. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, it was 42-3 last year. I think Michigan beat Iowa in the championship game. I mean, the Big Ten needs to get in the smoke-filled room and figure this out
today.
Figure it out.
That's how simple.
Figure it out. Yeah, the Big Ten championships today. And I tell you what, Penn State has come on. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to play them again. They played really good defense too. They shut out a Maryland team that put 30 on Ohio State. I mean, they've really come on. So I just like, what are you doing? I mean, even if Penn State was in the other one, they get another crack at either Michigan or Ohio State. I mean, that would be a decent rematch. When you got this crap, it's terrible. I mean, they need to let's get a little room and fix this.
So the ACC will have Carolina and Clemson.
I can't believe Carolina loses its last 2 conference games and still makes the championship game.
So Terry's excited about winning an exhibition game.
Do what? I'm not.
Don't start that. He starts this crap every week. He does the same thing.
After losing to Georgia Tech, Carolina cannot make the national championship. Right?
I know.
So that game yesterday meant nothing.
You're right.
To North Carolina.
It means nothing for the national championship.
It meant a lot for feelings.
It meant a lot to Carolina as far as how many guys they just lost.
What do you mean?
That was debating whether going to State or Carolina.
If he had his way, we would just cancel every football game in America that did not have a direct impact on the national championship.
Well,
that's his.
May hurt yesterday in an exhibition game that didn't mean anything.
Let's just cancel every game that doesn't have national title implications. And nobody else play. The rest of y'all go home. No sense in playing.
What implications besides those teams feeling good about themselves did that game have? It didn't affect the ACC championship game. It didn't affect any game.
You made my point for me.
No, you said national. I just said ACC.
Or
it
any
didn't
championship.
even affect that. So they didn't even have to play. Carolina could have played. Could Carolina, true or false, not have played no freshmen yesterday, all freshmen yesterday, and it didn't matter. It would not affect anything.
Every game matters. Every game matters. It doesn't matter for the championship. You're correct.
So did App Texas
matter? Did
App
if it's not for the championship, conference or whatever, it doesn't matter.
App Texas A&M didn't matter this year.
It did.
No, it didn't. Did we knock them out of a bowl game? No, everybody else did. So it doesn't matter to nothing to us. We beat some crappy team.
I don't understand
from the
this
SEC. We beat Vanderbilt this year, basically. Good job, App.
Vanderbilt.
We'll have to schedule a good SEC team next year. Instead of
Vanderbilt beat Florida.
I know. We'll play Florida next year. We did play Florida already. We've played them all this year. We've played almost everybody in the SEC, but Alabama, and then nobody in Big Ten.
I just hate that.
Play Missouri. That's who you need to play.
Yeah, he won't do that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What's all these? Y'all hear all these Lane Kiffin to Auburn rumors?
Well, he told his players yesterday that he's staying.
Yeah, he said no, he's staying
at Ole Miss.
He has said that before.
That don't mean nothing. Lane Kiffin is whatever comes out of his mouth. It's a lie, so I wouldn't believe him. I mean, that guy's been everywhere.
Why would anybody go where where he's at for any reason? Like, other than whatever under the table the money he can get you, why would anyone go play for him?
See, if
you could go to that school, now you're think about Tom. Lane Kiffin taught me to go to Mississippi. Now I'm in Mississippi. I could have went to Florida, where all the beautiful ladies are.
There's some women in Mississippi.
Yes.
There's some good-looking women in Mississippi.
Yes.
Now, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Quick letter I.
If you are there, think about it.
Everyone knows.
You can recruit the New Orleans area. You can recruit Texas. You can recruit Florida. It's not a bad place to be.
Recruit Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, you can recruit Alabama.
Making the case me now, Mississippi's a good place to be.
Somebody could build it.
When's the last time they won an SEC championship? Do I need to look this up?
No, don't.
Either one of those teams won the SEC championship.
I'm saying it's
when Eli was there. They won, right?
Terry, we're in LSU and Alabama's conversation. Y'all over here talking about Mississippi and Auburn. Auburn's in there, by the way.
When Eli was there, Ole Miss won it, didn't they? I thought they won the conference.
No.
They didn't win it.
No,
they won.
Manning's terrible in college football. What did they ever win?
Who?
No,
I'm just saying.
Did Manning ever win anything in college football?
I'm saying.
No.
I'm saying potentially. I think somebody could turn that into a winning
Terry,
program.
Did Peyton ever even win a conference championship? Didn't Florida beat them every year?
Mm-hmm. Florida.
So he didn't even win a conference championship, much less a national championship. T. Martin, baby, put his statue up right now. Right next to Phillips.
Yeah, T. Martin was pretty good. I just hate it for Hooker goes down in that.
Well, the SEC is going to be LSU. We're going to talk about the rankings here in a minute because I wanted to talk about all this mess of this sport that you guys like. Let's go over here to these rankings.
Oh, I love these rankings.
Can
I say something about these rankings?
You can say that. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Here's the problem. LSU's ranked number 5. USC, Alabama, and Clemson and Oregon have a better chance of being in the Final Four than LSU, and they're ranked 5th.
So here's what happens from an outsider.
Because you know what? They know that they're going to have to play Georgia.
Right. The voters have to justify weeks ahead is what they do.
Yeah.
They don't put them where they should be. They have to justify, well, if LSU wins this game, we can't just jump them over 19. Whatever they do in there. It's ridiculous to look at that thing. So USC got beat by who? Utah by 1, right?
Yeah.
Utah's ranked 14th. Who did Alabama get beat by? They got beat by LSU and Tennessee. Now, please tell me why Tennessee is behind LSU and Alabama after beating both of them, right?
Tennessee beat LSU.
And Alabama.
Yeah,
they went down to Baton Rouge and beat them like they stole something.
They beat both of them.
So they were 5th, right?
And they're behind.
Last
now,
week, dropped them 5 spots.
Yes. Yeah. Same number of losses. So the argument is, here's the argument. Our losses are better than your losses, right? So that's the whole thing, Terry. When Carolina loses to Florida State, and Florida State loses to Carolina, it's different according to the eyes of the viewer of the voter. So that's Tennessee getting the North Carolina and the NC State treatment right there, having Alabama and LSU ahead of them. And I'm not a Tennessee fan, but am I not right on that?
Yeah, you're right.
You beat both of them, didn't they?
But then they did get spanked last week, though.
What does that mean?
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to justify why they dropped 5 because they got
that doesn't matter
kicked out of them at South Carolina.
So
why put LSU at number 5? Who in the world is justified to LSU
beat out Alabama? Though. That's why they're there.
So did Tennessee.
They beat Alabama. They below them.
But their loss to last week has what's dropped Tennessee down. That's why it's there. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Texas should have been.
LSU is not better than
15,
USC.
I think maybe 4th. Huh?
LSU's not better than USC.
No, that's what I said. USC should be probably 5th or 4th.
So what's going to happen is, instead of arguing about who's where they should be, I wish they'd put them where they probably ended up. So here's what's going to happen. Obviously, one of the Big Ten teams, let's say Georgia wins out, one of the Big Ten teams get that 2 spot. Then here's your scenarios. If TCU goes undefeated, they're in. Right. All right. So if Georgia goes undefeated, obviously LSU's getting beat again. Right. So they're out. So what they're doing, putting LSU at 5, is justifying if Georgia gets beat to keep them both in.
Keep them both in, yeah.
That's what that is for. Because if LSU was back at 8 or 9 where they're supposed to be behind the team, Tennessee, that beat them, they couldn't sneak LSU in and sneak Georgia in because they're not going to have an SEC team. Because that's what it should be. If LSU beats Georgia, it should have no SEC team in it. All of them out. And then unless y'all play twice. It should be TCU and USC. But let's finish the scenarios where it could go. Let's say TCU goes undefeated. That means you got one spot. So you got USC and Clemson for the 4th spot, right? Mm-hmm. USC got beat by Utah.
Yeah.
Who's 8-3 and 14th.
USC will lose today.
Clemson got beat by Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Who's 8-3 and number 15.
Notre Dame they'll beat USC today.
Ooh.
So if Notre Dame beats USC today, we don't have to. Clemson's going to be in the Final Four. So Clemson fans, you're hoping for a USC or TCU loss is what you need. Either one of those, and Clemson wins.
Clemson,
they should get in, right?
No, everything I've seen, Clemson's not even in the mix anymore. It's USC. Well, it's Georgia. It's the top 3, and then the TCU and USC. That's the.
Well, that's the college football rankings right now, right?
No, I'm saying for the playoffs.
No, I'm saying if we go forward, I just played it out in our heads.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
you weren't listening at all.
I still don't think they're going to get Clemson in there.
No, I'm saying if Georgia wins, this is how you get Clemson in. Georgia needs TCU or USC to lose. Either one of them, and Clemson wins the ACC championship.
I was thinking, though, well.
Are you going to put a second-place team from another conference in over a Clemson as an ACC champion?
I wouldn't put it past them putting Georgia, LSU, Ohio State, Michigan.
They're going to keep Dabo out?
Yeah, they don't like that. They've got the Tom disease.
They love Dabo. He makes them more money than anything.
They hate Dabo.
They love Dabo. Money.
Dabo and Little Nicky. Little Nicky will be crying too. Don't count Little Nicky out of this yet. He'll be crying. He'll be on TV. We played the hardest schedule in the country. Why should the Big Ten teams get in there? We played the hardest in the country. That Little Nicky be crying all
the people in Tennessee should be burning the house down right now that they're not ahead of Alabama and LSU.
Now, if LSU beats Georgia, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know.
So let's go. LSU beats Georgia. LSU and Georgia's both in. They're not taking Georgia out.
You don't think so?
No, Georgia's not going out.
They've been number 1 all year. They're not taking them out.
It doesn't matter to them. They'll fall to 3.
Yeah, TCU. Yeah. No, they'll go to 4. They'll put LSU at 3. They'll go 3 and 4.
The reason I don't think they'll fall because it's TCU there. They'll not fall below TCU.
Even you don't think they will?
No.
Even Ohio State, Michigan's a 1-point game.
Ohio State and Michigan.
Losers out.
Yeah, losers out.
If
you're not playing in your championship, why should you even be thought of?
If LSU wins,
I agree. But
all right, let's go with this. If LSU wins, my Final Four, I believe, will be Georgia, Ohio State, TCU, and LSU. Not in that order. The order will be Ohio State 1, LSU 2, TCU 3, and Georgia 4.
If LSU wins, right? Is that what you're saying?
I think they'll have TCU and LSU playing at the 2 and 3 spot. And the 1 Ohio State will be playing for Georgia, Tom.
Right now, the whole thing.
If LSU wins, that's if LSU wins.
The people in that booth right now cannot stand it because Ohio State and Michigan playing today, so one of them going to lose. And then you're talking about, well, darn, we got to go all the way to number 7 to get Alabama back in it. Clemson's at number 8.
They're sitting around thinking, how do we get Alabama back in this?
Yeah.
How do we get Little Nicky in there? How do we get him in there?
Right now, Tennessee and Clemson have the biggest beefs in the rankings, I believe. I'm not saying Tennessee should be near the top 4. No matter what, they should be ahead of the 2 SEC teams they just beat, LSU and Alabama. They have the same records. We're ahead of them. Clemson should be the ACC champion. They lost to Notre Dame. What? Okay, so that's that. They got one loss. USC lost to Utah.
They got spanked by Notre Dame.
Right. They both lost to those 14 and 15th 8-3 lost teams. So, but Clemson, they're conference champions again, and we're talking about second place teams, and I don't think.
But we're also talking about down here at number 15, the Fighting Irish. And I know none of us like them, but if you go back and think about it, what team is probably playing as good as anybody in the country? The Fighting Irish.
After they got beat by Marshall at home earlier. Well, I guess they switched quarterbacks, though. They switched quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying. They switched quarterbacks. The guy was his first year coaching. He's turned it around. They're 8-3. They started 0-2.
Yeah.
You know? I mean.
Their running game is really good, too.
Yeah, and their defense is good.
I can't believe they
beat USC today. I'm telling you, they will.
I can't believe they got Clemson so low.
I don't think they'll beat them today.
That was a bad loss, Kevin. That was a bad loss at Notre Dame.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't even close.
Okay.
It was 28-0, wasn't it?
Now, if Notre Dame beats
Alabama's
USC
in what,
today,
fourth place in the SEC?
Alabama shouldn't be considered, period.
I said they're fourth place in the SEC.
LSU shouldn't even be considered.
Yeah.
Not unless they win it.
That's what I'm saying.
If they win their conference championship, put them in. They're still a conference champion.
Yeah, but there's 5 Power 5 teams. Who you putting them in over?
Clemson. You got ACC's not getting in.
You're going to put them in over Clemson.
Why?
I want them to. I'm just telling you, they're not going to put the. It's going to be.
Y'all are blowing
Big
my
10,
minds what they're going to screw Clemson.
The Big 12, SEC, and then USC if they win today.
Ohio State, Michigan play today. One of them's out. USC plays the Fighting Irish. The Fighting Irish will win today. That puts them out. Georgia and LSU going to play. Georgia beats LSU. That puts them out.
Terry.
All of a sudden, Clemson's jumping.
Terry, is that game playing in Los Angeles today?
Yes.
I don't care where it's being played.
So you're going to tell me that Notre Dame's going to hop on a plane, go out there, and just beat USC?
Or TCU.
Okay.
Clemson needs USC or TCU to lose. And then Georgia and Ohio State. Or Georgia to win.
Both to lose.
No, you need to do one.
I think Southern Cal's going to win. LSU's going to lose. And I think Southern Cal will be the 4th spot.
They're going to jump you. They're going to jump them over teams. That just because you're ahead of them now don't mean you can't jump over them.
I'm just telling you, they're not going to put the.
They just jumped LSU over like 9
Clemson will
teams.
jump over Alabama if they go win the championship next week.
Right.
They will jump over Alabama. There's no way Alabama can even be thought of.
You know, we're forgetting one thing. Clemson's got to beat South Carolina today.
Yeah, well, you're right
they
there.
They got to beat South Carolina today.
They're playing at noon, which is going to be good. If they were playing at night with all the lights and the crap they got going on.
Is that game in Clemson?
No, I think it's at William Bryce, isn't it?
Yeah, you better be careful.
I'm just going to tell you.
I think it may.
Rattler's getting it together down there.
He
had a great game.
The guns, they put a whooping on Tennessee.
After they only scored 6 at Florida.
Yeah.
And then they go out and score 63 on Tennessee.
Yeah.
So
South Carolina 7.
Be careful.
I'm not saying Clemson shouldn't win the game. They should win the game.
It's at Clemson. I think it's South Carolina.
It's at Clemson. Well, the Clemson is tough to beat.
Story, yeah,
it's Clemson's tough to beat at home. I don't know. It's a possibility. It's a possibility, and I don't know how much energy is still coming from, South Carolina after that game. But I tell you, when I watched that offense, I'm like, man, Tennessee cannot get off the field. I mean, South Carolina scored 5 straight touchdowns. So, I mean, Clemson better come ready to play.
If Clemson wins today, I think with North Carolina's previous 2 losses, Georgia Tech and then last night at State, if Clemson wins today, and they're going to play them next week, I think that win diminishes, or excuse me, Carolina losing these past 2 weeks. I think that diminishes how much that title means in the ACC now. That's why I don't think they're going to be in. I don't think they're going to put them in the Final Four.
So who's going to be in it? I just said they're not going to be in it unless TCU or USC loses.
I still don't think they'll be in.
Who's going to be in then?
I think it'll be another. I think it'll be Michigan or the loser of the Ohio State Michigan game, or the loser of the.
So they're going to put in a team that didn't even make the conference championship.
They've done it before.
Over the ACC champion.
They've done it before. They did it with the Big Ten, put Ohio State in there.
Again,
they won't do it again.
So Shannon, we agree. We agree this is the stupidest sport in the world, besides soccer.
Remember the year they put Ohio State? Remember when they put Ohio State in and then they got shut out by Clemson?
Yeah.
They won't do it again.
No.
They won't do it again.
They embarrassed them. That embarrassed Clemson.
I remember that year because Clemson was really good, and I was actually like, "Don't put us in there," because I knew Clemson would.
Is that when Fields was that his first year?
No, that was back when we still had J.T. Barrett.
Okay.
All right, y'all ready to pick some games?
Sure.
South Carolina at Clemson. Shannon.
Clemson.
Oh, y'all that talk. Tom, you got South Carolina?
I'm going South Carolina to ruin
the
Clemson's
chickens.
seasons. The Fighting Chickens.
Ruin Dabo.
Let's go Chickens.
Good news for you, Shannon. Every time he picks against Dabo wins by like 50.
Yeah, correct. That'd be correct.
Terry, who you got?
Yeah, there's no doubt Clemson.
In battle of Kentucky rain and Kentucky bourbon will be flowing today in Lexington. The Cardinals and the Wildcats. Wildcats favored by 3 at Kroger Field, Tommy. Kentucky hosting Louisville.
Let's go Louisville. They'll go in and beat them.
Terry?
That's not going to happen. Kentucky.
Shannon?
Kentucky.
Oregon State. What's this one called? The Civil War in Corvallis
Yeah.
today. 3:30. Number 9, Oregon at Oregon State. The Ducks are favored by 3 over the Beavers. And if you was going to have a fight between two animals, that's kind of a underground fighting ring right there. Ducks and Beavers. Shannon?
Give me the Ducks. I'm going with Oregon.
I'm also Oregon.
The Oregon State at home. Corvallis, tough place to play.
Iowa State. 10-point underdogs at TCU. The Horned Frogs in Fort Worth today, 52 degrees. Tommy, you got the Horned
No,
Frogs?
I mean
undefeated?
they've been playing with fire. They've almost lost a couple games, but I like TCU at home today.
I'm also TCU.
Mm-hmm. TCU. We got a local kid there
at
where? TCU. Brayson Melton. He used to be at Clemson. Yeah, he's doing his grad work down there at TCU.
All right.
What high school when you say local kid?
Prescott.
There you go. You didn't say
right.
that. Local kid. I didn't know why.
Mean professor over here.
Yeah. Well, I'm just whatever.
The demeaning professor, Kevin Hastings.
JP's a local kid. You don't know what high school he went to.
He didn't. He's homeschooled.
Right? LSU at Texas. Yeah, LSU at Texas A&M, only favored by 10. 10-point favorite, Terry.
LSU. I mean,
Texas A&M can't score.
Shannon?
Oh, LSU. I'm sorry.
No upsets for you guys.
No, LSU.
Rumor has it, is it Dion talking to South Florida? Is that what I saw? I don't know why he'd make that move instead of Florida State or somewhere else. That's kind of a weird mood.
He not no. Florida State's on the up and up now.
Yeah.
They're not going to hire a coach.
Up and up, Florida State. Who's their coach now, Tom?
Gosh,
that's what I thought.
Who's the
Notre
new guy?
Dame at USC? USC favored
I know it's
by
a new
4,
guy.
Shannon.
Which one? I'm sorry.
So when I go in the recruit's house and say, "What's his coach?" or you want prime time walking in here?
Play my music.
Yeah, that's true.
Prime time walking into your house with a Seminole band playing the Tomahawk Chop, Tommy.
Yeah, but they just
get every recruit.
They just ran off the old coach and hired one, right? Then who'd they have to buy out? They just had to buy out the new guy because when Jimbo left, they hired a guy, and then they had to buy him out and hire another guy. I can't remember all the names.
All right, you can Google search that. Notre Dame. All right, Terry, Notre Dame at USC. Trojans only favored by 4. You taking the Irish?
I am taking the Irish.
Terry
they
says
eliminate USC.
Taking them out. Taking them out of the championship. Big game today. Terry goes with the Irish. Shannon.
Give me the Trojans.
Trojans for Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Give me USC. It's Mike Norvell is the head coach for Florida State.
And he's doing a good job.
He's doing a fantastic job.
Mike Norvell.
He is.
I should know that. I'm on a sports show. I should know that.
No. Washington at Washington State. Cougars favored by 2 at home over the 13th ranked. What are they? Huskies.
And this
Huskies.
The Apple Cup, isn't it?
I have no idea.
It's the Apple Cup.
So, yeah.
No idea.
He doesn't watch college football.
They don't care. They just want you to pick one.
Washington, as Terry would say. Washington.
So I'm taking Washington.
Washington.
Flare chop him.
Give me Washington State.
Well, Florida State won last night, 45-38. UCLA won 35-28. Tulane beat Cincinnati 27-24 in Texas.
Tulane, their first championship.
Yeah, good for Tulane.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Terry, how many games you got there?
We've got 7.
7. Over in the Sun Belt,
How are the Fighting Boogie Boarders doing this year, Coastal Carolina? I hadn't heard too much about them this year.
Well, they're in first place.
Yeah. Are they? I hadn't heard I hadn't heard but they haven't been talking about them like they did last year.
Well, they didn't get to play their last game because that was
they didn't get that big name that BYU game like they got last year.
This conference,
they got the Gardner Webb game this year.
Wow, yeah.
This conference has had 4 different leaders at ranked at some point, so it's been a wild.
Yeah, just hadn't heard.
Marshall beat Notre Dame. Didn't Troy beat somebody too? App and Troy had a great game there, and Louisiana was ranked there at some point.
App is 3-4 in the conference. Wow.
I mean, it's just been
South
Alabama's 9-2. Like it's been a upside down, topsy turvy year there. All right, let's
James Madison. Yeah, has been ranked at one time.
Duke and Wake Forest today. Shannon, Spelling Bee and Durham between now. Remember, these two are both like supposed to be Christian universities, right? And they have a devil and a demon deacon. I don't get that. Who you got today?
Give me the Demon Deacons.
I got Wake Forest also.
Which one of the hellish mascots do you have, Tom?
This is Methodist versus Baptist.
Yes.
Give me the Baptist. Wake Forest.
So the Baptists have demon deacons, and the Methodists have the devil.
Yeah, the Methodist Church having a lot of problems right now.
Well,
yeah, that's right.
They're
going to have some more problems today when Wake Forest
Shannon,
goes
maybe
in there.
I'll start with their mascot as a blue devil.
That's what
How about that? There you go. That's your step one. Don't sit in church and say go Blue Devils. That's probably an issue. Syracuse at Boston College today. Terry, how about them Eagles? How'd they do after beating State?
Who, Boston College?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably the only game they've ever won.
They lost 44-0 the following week after beating the Wolfpack.
Look at
Notre Dame.
Too.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
That's right.
I just because we talked about that when the State lost. I said, they're going to Boston College going to turn and get smoked this week. Don't you?
They beat up on their fellow Catholic university.
Pittsburgh and Miami. Pittsburgh favored by 6.5.
Miami's in disarray.
But not a lot of teams that aren't that good are favored down there because
Pittsburgh's decent.
Kids like to get loose at night. Tom, who you got?
Give me Pittsburgh.
Terry?
I'm Pittsburgh also.
Thoughts and prayers out to the Virginia football team. They canceled their game with Virginia Tech today.
Terry, you went Shannon, Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Over in the Big Ten, Minnesota and Wisconsin play today. Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's a great upper Midwest accent. You ought to be on TV with that.
Which one? The Minnesota or the Wisconsin?
They're both horrible. You obviously cannot do either one.
I had a roommate from Minnesota.
That's like a redneck Minnesota accent. Minnesota. It's like he must be from South Minnesota. Give me Wisconsin.
Minnesota.
You ain't taking this team that you said was good at the start of the year, Minnesota?
Minnesota. That's how you say it. Minnesota? That's like how they say it in Lincoln.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Wisconsin.
No, I'm not okay.
I got Wisconsin.
Give me the Gophers.
That's a tough loss.
Why would you have a mascot as the Golden Gopher? No wonder they stink this year. Golden Gopher? Who's afraid of a gopher?
All right, Terry, how many's that?
10.
You're wearing a Buckeye pullover.
Right, what is that?
A Buckeye is a tree.
It's a bean, isn't it?
It's a tree.
I thought it was a Buckeye pea.
Shut up.
Buckeye has a bean in it.
Can we pick some games?
Big nut.
Right. What is your mascot, Tom?
A tree.
That is not a tree running around out there. What is your mascot?
It's a tree.
It's a nut, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, a nut.
All right, so are the Nuts going to beat the Wolverines today? They're favored by 8. 8 points? I thought this was national chat. This should be a 1-point game, shouldn't it? Or 3, whatever it is.
Well, it's in college football, I'd say that home field would swing the line at least a touchdown. I don't know. Both these teams banged up at running back. Ohio State's offensive line hasn't impressed me. Their defense kind of against Maryland. Gosh, they blow some coverages. I wish I had more confidence in this one. So I'll just go with Ohio State, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough.
Corum's out there, right?
No, he's going to play.
Think so?
Yeah, he's going to play. Mayan Williams might not play, and Travion Henderson's in a boot. Hallen, their third string back, had a good game at Maryland, but both these teams banged up because the Michigan back, can't remember his name, but his backup running back's been hurt too. So, I mean, both these teams pretty banged up at running back and having a hard time running the football.
I want Ohio State.
I also took Ohio State.
Look at the ticket. Can you see that on the screen? Like the below it, Rutgers and Maryland ticket as low as $5.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan Ohio State ticket as low as $371.
Yep.
Crazy.
Big Ten football.
It's gonna be. What's the weather? Here. What's the weather? 51. All right. 51 and sunny.
You can get a Big Ten football ticket for less than a Whataburger, Tom.
Where at?
In Maryland.
Oh, $5. I'm telling you, Maryland.
The crab cakes at the game cost more than the ticket.
Tua impressed me last week. We picking this one?
No, we were just pick. Yeah, that's it. Unless y'all got any more, Terry. Any more games y'all can think of that we need to pick, Terry? You're uneven.
That's 11.
Right okay. Yeah. One more note this week. I'm trying to figure out what in the world is happening here. So Matt Rule is being suggested as the coach here. Rumors to Nebraska. From what I'm seeing, he was going to be paid $40 million not to coach. Someone please tell me why. Why you would not take $40 million and go to the beach or wherever you want to enjoy your life instead of going to Nebraska to coach football. How can you like football that much? You like football more than $40 million in relaxation at Nebraska in the middle of the country in cornfields.
Get recruit
and they
Texas.
haven't been that good at all.
You can recruit
in 25
Texas.
years.
Well, again, he's hoping Baylor's job comes back over probably.
$40 million is what he was going to be getting paid by the Carolina Panthers not to coach, and I don't know exactly how this.
Are they still going to have to pay him that much?
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out the details. Like, there's something in
probably.
it where, right? Like,
probably are. Could pay him 15 quarterbacks. Might as well play the coach.
There's a lot of money.
Well, Browns are paying Baker Mayfield $10 million to the pension for the Panthers. So. What a brilliant move they are, boy! They've made some solid moves here lately.
So let's see that. Rule got the $40 million buyout. That's more than Nick Saban's at Alabama. 25 more than Scott Frost got from Nebraska for his buyout, and it's more than the $30 million the Nets are still having to pay off Bobby Bonilla. So that's how that's comparing that on this. It's just this article. This is from a few months back before they knew he was going to be kind of looking at Nebraska, but it was just seeing how much they still owed him. But I don't know how that goes as far as. Like you
now, Shannon, you're a Panthers man. Rule has been described as good person, bad coach. Is that what you would say?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you listen to him interview, listen to him during an interview, he's very approachable. It sounds like he'd be a nice guy to hang out with. But yeah, he's
all right, guys. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk NFL, NBA, and more here on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Check out the fall service call special from Shelby Heated and Air. Shelby Heated and Air is now offering a fall service call special of just $55. But that's not all. Get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heated and Air discount on qualifying systems. Call today at 704-487-7877 and schedule your $55 service call appointment. Shelby Heated and Air. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
You could be the winner of a $1,000 Christmas shopping spree. All you have to do is register to one of our participating merchants, including Car Pro on Highway 180 south of Shelby, at Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain, Arnold's Jewelry South Washington Street in Shelby, Country Camping Corner on the Oak Grove Road in Kings Mountain, Eddie's Auto Parts on East Main Street in Lincoln, at Hometown Hardware on South Railroad Avenue in Kings Mountain, at Bean Brothers Hardware on the Reedsville Road in Lincoln, at Butler Automotive on East King Street in Kings Mountain, at Triad Corrugated Metals in Industrial Park, Lincoln, and at Bruner's Automotive on East Main Street in Cherryville. The grand prize will be given away Friday, December 16th, so register today. You could be the winner of our $1,000 Christmas shopping spree, brought to you by The Boss, Carolina Country, and WhatsAppShopper.com.
Sism & Son Paint and Body Shop, a local family-owned business, is celebrating 25 years in business. Located at 2027 Shelby Road in Kings Mountain, they offer auto and truck body repair and painting, motorcycle refinishing, and dent removal. They're known for the quality of their work, their experienced staff, and their dedication to their customers. In their own words, we work for our customers, not for the insurance companies. We have your best interest in mind. Call 704-730-0050. Sism & Son Paint and Body Shop. They're there when you need them.
Trusted, tried, and true. Those three words represent the highest standards for the Kawasaki Mule side-by-sides. Trusted means being built strong and built to last. Tried means being put to the test by hardworking people doing the toughest jobs. And true means staying authentic to the roots that run 30 years deep. Kawasaki Mule, the definition of trusted, tried, and true. See the Kawasaki Mule at Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 101 Indian Walk in Lowell.
Pink Paradise Wellness and Day Spa in Shelby is the premier location for providing exceptional cosmetic and medical aesthetics to their patients. PRP, microneedling, IV therapy, laser hair removal, toxins, fillers, facials, and more. And guys, if you're looking for the perfect stocking stuffer for your significant other, you can't go wrong with a gift certificate from Pink Paradise. Pink Paradise is located at 927 South Lafayette Street, Shelby, or check out their website at pinkparadisespa.com and like them on Facebook too. Robert Bosch Power Tools in Lincoln is growing, and now Robert Bosch Power Tools has machine operator positions available on their second and third and weekend shifts. Their benefit and compensation packages are world class. To be a part of this amazing team, apply today and start working like a Bosch. To see the complete list of job openings, Google Bosch Careers in Lincoln. Again, Google Bosch Careers in Lincoln. Your new career starts today.
You know.
And we're back. Saturday Morning Sports Talk brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com.
Y'all didn't think y'all needed JP around here, did you?
We do need JP. Thoughts and prayers out to you, buddy. Glad you're okay. You know what? You almost had two people not here today because when I was on my way, Bambi was right on the side of the road, and she thought about coming out there, and it would have been two KTC employees down this morning. But thank goodness I didn't hit that deer on the way in. What are we talking about?
The
not deer.
Soccer World Cup.
We're going to talk about the 0-0 game that the United States had. I actually watched that with my daughter. We enjoyed that.
Say
I know
that
you
again
didn't
out
watch it.
loud.
What's
Just
that?
say that again out loud.
Say it
I
again.
watched that with my daughter.
No. The important part.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, say the whole thing.
I watched that game with my daughter, and I enjoyed it.
He keeps skipping the
But you
important part.
keep skipping the part. You
What
said.
part did I skip?
A 0-0 game.
I didn't say
then
that.
You said I enjoyed it. Yeah, you did.
I mean, there were chances for the U.S. to score.
Tom, I want to say something.
No, I got one question.
Let
me ask you a question that you can ask your
Okay.
Shannon, true or false? If everyone at that stadium showed up and just sang along for show tunes for 2 hours, would it have made any difference in the World Cup?
No.
Thank you. Terry, ask your question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How many people? I have a hard time, and don't get me wrong. I know
watch that.
Soccer,
That's a
football,
stupid
whatever,
sport.
but I cannot see setting for an hour and a half.
They flew to Qatar
for nothing.
Qatar. Cutter.
I mean,
Cutter.
It's been pronounced like 10 different ways. I could pull up NBC, pronounce it just like that, Tom.
Cutter.
I'm not the only one.
I mean, you got people that's running around out there probably 20 miles every game for a nothing ball game.
They asked Pulisic after the game about the game.
Match.
And he
the match. I'm sorry. Okay.
Pulisic after the game said, "Yeah, we dominated for a lot of that game."
You had zero, buddy.
Again, correct me if I'm wrong. The general premise of soccer is keep away.
No,
and if we can score, we'll score.
What he's talking about is there was a lot of pressure on. They put a lot of pressure on England. Forced about 3 or 4 quarters there.
Tough
forced about 3 or 4 quarters
in a row. Terry, you didn't listen. You don't know anything. Just
I don't
be quiet.
know soccer. You're right.
Just be quiet.
We don't.
There was one part there where they forced about 2 or 3 corners in a row, and they had a bunch of shots, and they put a lot of pressure on England. There was a time in that second half where they had a lot of pressure on them, and they had a chance to get a goal. Didn't get one.
How do you get a corner kick? How do you get a corner kick?
If it goes over the goal line, but it was touched last by the defending team.
So if it goes out of bounds, you get a kick.
It's a corner,
and that's a good thing
because there's no offside on a corner. You can kick it in from the corner, and there's no offside.
Can I ask you another question?
You can.
All right, since you a soccer man, when the game was over with, both of you got a point.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You scored 0. How in the heck you get a point? How does that happen?
How do you get points in NASCAR when you finish 12th? You still get points, right?
So you score 0.
Terry, answer the question. And when you finish 12th,
NASCAR,
you didn't answer the question.
It's there for you to
yes
get.
Or no?
He
yes.
doesn't get the point system,
yes, you get points, or no, you do not when you finish 15th in a NASCAR race.
When you score 0.
Again, my question is not answered. Yes or no? Do you get points in a NASCAR race if you finish 15th?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
All right.
So that's why you get a point in tie.
You still ain't answering my question. Because when you finish 15th, there's a point spread that you get for finishing 15th. There ain't no 13th, 14th, 15th. There's 15th.
You get a point.
Get your point.
You didn't lose.
In your soccer game,
you didn't lose.
Both teams did not score, but both of you get a point.
Correct.
All right, so Terry, what happens is they're in pool play.
They're in pool play.
Now,
right.
for a win, how many you get for wins?
I want to say you get 3 for a win. You have to double check.
You get 3 for a win. Yeah, 1 for
a loss, obviously. And whoever gets the most points in pool play.
It's goal, and then it's tiebreakers goal differential.
Is okay.
Yeah. And the surprise of that group is Iran. I know y'all don't know that, but
now
Iran got spanked by England, then defeated Wales. How does Wales have its own team? Isn't it part of the United Kingdom? That's what I don't understand. Why didn't England, Wales, and Scotland just put a team together?
They're their own countries, Tom.
They're not. They're the United Kingdom.
They're their own countries, Tom.
They're their own countries when it's convenient.
Well, I want to tell you something. I was in.
Who did you say? Who was the last? Go. Okay. Who'd you say? Wales and who else?
United
Scotland.
Kingdom.
England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland is the United Kingdom.
Yeah, go to Scotland and tell them that.
Okay. I was in a store yesterday.
By McGregor and his boys.
They have not broken away. The last referendum they didn't break away, right? If they're an independent country, why do you have to have a referendum to break away?
I'm sorry, the tyrants won't let them live free in their own land.
They had a referendum.
The tyrants won't let them.
They had a referendum. How was a referendum tyranny?
Who's keeping them there?
Scotland did. They had a referendum to leave.
Explain that referendum. What do you mean, Tom? A vote?
They had a vote of the people of Scotland to leave the United Kingdom. And
did,
they said
did the ones that voted to leave get to leave? They didn't. The ones that voted to stay.
What does that even mean?
You said they had a referendum. So again, democracy is 2 wolves and a sheep voting for lunch.
Okay, he knows one Ben Franklin quote. He's a historian.
And it all depends on who counts the votes, right?
I was just saying, you're the one that threw Scotland and said they weren't a country, trying to get me cut around here.
They're not.
By McGregor.
They are part of the United Kingdom. They are semi-autonomous, similar to states.
Okay.
This is the equivalent of like California having its own World Cup team, which, you have a semi-autonomous part of a country. Doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Wales got 3 million people. Why? You're stupid. Just join with England. You got a couple of good players. You got a better chance to win. I don't get it.
Join with England to improve our soccer team so we can beat the United States.
That would make sense if I was them.
Now, I did see a fun tweet. They said it was like, well, explain this soccer game, the England versus United States, and they said it would be like England putting together a football team and coming over here and beating our Pro Bowl team, and that's how they were explaining us tying England. If that makes sense to you, Tom.
England
we did good.
England
0-0 tie for us.
The Americans
was
were threw a party because they
I'm just telling you,
and they tied.
I don't care what anybody says. I watched the match. I watched it.
I'm
England's not that. if that now they had some chances too, but I don't think England's head and shoulders. I think they're a little bit better. I don't think they're head and shoulders above the United States. The United States had lots of chances to score in that game. So I mean,
when do we play again?
We play Tuesday. Iran Tuesday. Got to win and in. If they tie or lose, they're out. They got to win. They have to beat Iran.
Now, England has Kane. Is it Kane? The older guy. He's pretty good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They were pretty good, but the United States had plenty of chances to score in that game. England had some chances too. There was one great save. They should have scored, and it was like in stoppage time, and they punched it through. Yeah. And the guy was like, "What are you doing at stoppage time?" I mean, he split two defenders, and it was a rocket. I'm telling you, it hit the fingers of the U.S. goalkeeper. That was going in for a goal.
All right, I want to ask you one more question. I got one more question.
All right, I got two or three.
Let me get this. When you extend the game beyond 90 minutes, how does that come around? I mean, sometimes we get like 7 minutes.
They do stoppage time, injuries.
Mystery time.
Yeah, yellow cards. If they had to,
so when the games, but who's keeping up with this stoppage time?
They have referees to do that. See, in high school we don't because we just stop the clock on a yellow card, or we stop the clock. Yeah.
That's where Americans have trouble a lot with this.
Yeah,
it's because to me, and I'm being facetious as I can be. We have mystery time where some guy we don't know has a stopwatch underneath the bleachers, and whenever he feels like calling game. He just does.
Yeah, he just says, "Okay, that's it."
So what's crazy? I mean, here was my question leading into it. They're in overtime, right? And they're still walking around. Like, I get it, walking around and getting your breath in the first 90 minutes. We're in overtime.
What about the guy that takes the ball out?
They're walking to the corner for a corner kick, and the guy blows the whistle.
Well, you got to remember.
Pick it up.
You got to remember, you can't really free sub like you can in high school. They've been out there a long time by the end of that game.
But my point is, they just walked and took. They were happy with taking the ties apart instead of taking a shot and go right there.
I guess they were.
So again, I think our biggest problem is whatever the stoppage time is. Why don't they post that publicly so you know? Why is it a secret instead of hey, it's 7 minutes and 22 seconds? How hard is that?
They do. They say plus 7 minutes or whatever after the 90 minutes. They do add their stoppage.
That's an estimate. Correct.
Yeah, it's usually not exact.
Can this stoppage time?
How hard is it? Just type in 7:22. Go.
Come in the middle of you putting the ball in play.
What are you talking about?
I mean, a guy has a corner kick from over here, and he puts the ball in play. Okay, the 7:01 is over, and the ball's in the air.
The rule,
it's over.
The rule in soccer is it's not like basketball. The ball has to penetrate the goal before the horn goes. At least that's the high school rule.
I think it's like hockey, right? Soccer and hockey.
It's got to be in the goal. Yeah. Like you can't kick it with no time, and then the horn sounds, and then there's no goal.
All right. So again, and we've talked about this before. I think the biggest thing is they need to shorten it by 30 or 40 yards.
I've said that too.
Make it smaller because the game of keep away is just aggravating as can be to a casual fan. Like we're just sitting here watching two guys kick it back and forth and waste time.
Yes.
How many times can you kick it beyond
there's
half?
70,000 people in here, and then there's 10 million people.
You know,
watching
you got your middle court.
How
many times can you kick it back there and bring it back?
I could actually kind of probably get into
all you want to.
There's not enough score.
There's not a back court. What you're saying.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so you can go back there as many times as you want to. All I can do is keep a guy back there. Yeah. If we're in trouble, kick it way back there to him, and he'll bring it back across.
Kick it to your goalie.
You can't do that, and there's no the pass back rule. If you kick it to your goalie, he can't pick it up.
Right, he has to kick it. Yeah,
he has to kick. Now
but that dude's pretty good when they kick. Yeah,
United States
kick it about the whole field.
United States and Iran, 2:00 Tuesday. I know I kind of had one fun one. Why? How come they don't ever do? Being a dumb non-soccer fan, Tom. But like there at the end, we're trying to win a goal. Let's say Tuesday we're trying to win a goal against Iran. These goalies can boot it, right? Why don't they ever just boot it as far as they can down the middle of the fan, as high as they can, and then let them scrum for it there at the end, and just all heck could break loose. Because the goalie's the only person that can touch it with his hand anyway. So if they just boot a big high one and bounce it really high, it just causes some chaos there. Anybody ever do? They ever do that? No.
What I would say is tie game at the end of 90 minutes. Pull the goalkeepers. First goal wins. So I would say pull the goalkeepers. First goal wins. Let's go. Hey, you did in the game. Somebody get a goal.
What's that called? Golden goal? Is that right?
Golden goal is when in the overtime when the first goal wins. Yeah. But soccer, they play out the overtime.
Yeah, I was a little scared when they kept kicking it back to our goalie there, trying, the purposeful kicking it back towards him when they were wasting time and playing keep.
That does get old.
Yeah. They kicked one hard to him near the goal, and it was bending towards him. I'm like, oh God, don't mess this up. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. We got NFL, NBA, and more on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Check out the fall service call special from Shelby Heating and Air. Shelby Heating and Air is now offering a fall service call special of just $55. But that's not all. Get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heating and Air discount on qualifying systems. Call today at 704-487-7877 and schedule your $55 service call appointment. Shelby Heating and Air. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. Looking for something different for that hard-to-get person on your Christmas shopping list? How about a gift certificate from Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop in Kings Mountain? Use it for service on your vehicle, or use it to help purchase a set of tires. Use it in their body shop, or use it to purchase one of their pre-owned vehicles, like right now, a Christmas Red 2012 Ford Fiesta. It's waiting for you and priced at $89.95. Get your Christmas gift certificate today at Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop. 522 Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain, online at oakgroveauto.com.
You're invited to the first annual Blazing Trails Christmas at the Stalls, Saturday, December 3rd from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. at the Blazing Trails Cowboy Church. There'll be vendors with woodworking crafts, baked goods, jewelry, custom tumblers, pins, shirts, handles, pottery, handmade soap, handmade apple butter, Christmas decor, boutique clothing, photography, live music, and more. All vendor proceeds will be given to the Judd Harrelson family. Saturday, December 3rd, from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. at the Blazing Trails Cowboy Church, 1222 Ponderosa Road, off Startown Road in Lincoln. Hannah Merritt of Crest High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete of the Month. Hannah is a junior at Crest and is the daughter of Wayne and Paylene Merritt. Hannah plays volleyball, soccer, and is on the swim team. She has a grade point average of 4.59. Her advanced courses include government, U.S. history, psychology, human geography, biology, language, and composition. Also calculus and literature. Hannah is the student body president and president of the National Honor Society and member of the Beta Club. She attends Macedonia Baptist Church of Kingstown. Hannah serves as a student fellow at the Math Academy and hosted a blood drive at her church. She also volunteers for the American Legion World Series and is involved in the Community Potato Picking Project. After graduation, Hannah plans to attend UNC Chapel Hill and major in journalism and creative writing. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship. The Dodge Black Friday sales event is underway at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lincoln. Get $1,500 retail consumer cash on new 2022 Dodge Durango models, plus $750 Chrysler Capital bonus cash when financed through Chrysler Capital. Don't miss the Dodge Black Friday sales event at Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located at 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Carolina Federal Credit Union in Cherryville is ready to help you spread more holiday cheer. Whether you're looking for a Christmas personal loan, low-rate auto loan, consolidating a debt for the new year, to open a savings account for a loved one, Carolina Federal Credit Union has got you covered. Visit them online at carolinafcu.org or at their branch at 1200 East Church Street in Cherryville. They treat you like family because you are.
We're proud to be working with our local businesses for the greatest comeback of all time.
Come together.
Shop local on WhatsUpShopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
Welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk, brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com. Yep.
Tom, did you watch last week's show?
I watched bits and pieces of it while I was waiting for the attendees to arrive. So I saw you had Phillip, and I couldn't tell who else was on there.
Would you hear any of my NBA talk?
No.
Okay. So I can repeat this. Told you guys that you'd have trouble against Western Conference teams. Looked it up, and you do have trouble against Western Conference teams.
On that road trip,
you
didn't go.
You frauds. 2-4 against the West Coast.
Didn't do well on that West Coast trip.
And
some close games though.
Here's the team. Here's who you beat.
We beat the Lakers.
You beat the Lakers.
We beat Portland with no Lillard.
You beat Portland with no Lillard. So, Boston and Milwaukee, I think are the two teams for the finals. I'm not saying you guys can't win a series or something. You got a good young team. I like your roster better than almost anyone else in the East for the most part. It's just I don't think they're as good as some of these West. You can't. I just don't think they can play with the Boston's, Milwaukee's, or the
look at how well. Well, I guess Utah's fallen off a little bit. They've done pretty well.
Well, Utah. Well, remember there are only two and a half games from between 10th and 1st. So last week it was like the last 3 weeks they were 1st, then they moved to 5th, then they moved back to 1st, and then now they're back down to 6th with a couple losses. Phoenix is now in 1st, Denver in 2nd in the West, Pelicans in 3rd, Grizzlies in 4th, Trailblazers 5th, Utah 6th. I don't think the TNT and ABC would be happy about those 6 teams leading the West right now. What do you think?
No.
Where's all of our LA teams in Dallas? But right now, if the playoffs started today, folks, you'd have no Steph Curry, no LeBron James, no Jimmy Butler, no Chicago Bulls, who we thought was one of the deepest teams in the East. All of those stars out. We expected Houston and Spurs to be out, and the Hornets and the Magic and the Pistons and the Thunder, really. But those
have they put out the Christmas Day schedule yet? Like,
the schedule have been out.
I wonder who's playing Christmas Day with it.
Probably the Lakers and Clippers.
Oh yeah, the Lakers are playing.
Yeah, I just.
Why is that such a?
Because what you said, the top 10 teams there in the West, you don't have the big names.
Oh, you're wondering?
Yeah, I'm just wondering. It probably don't matter.
There you go.
Yeah, Lakers.
You can read it out loud for a radio fan.
Philadelphia and New York will play at noon. Los Angeles Lakers and Dallas will play at 2:30. Milwaukee will be at Boston at 5. Memphis at Golden State at 8. Phoenix at Denver at 10:30.
Yep.
Oh, that'll be a good game.
All on our friends at ABC.
Gordon Hayward out with a shoulder injury now.
Again, he's always hurt, man.
So, again, Hornets 6-14, as always, heading towards the bottom of whatever.
Maybe they'll draft another lottery guy they'll send to the G League.
Terry, did you see Durant?
We're going to dominate the G League with our 6th overall pick.
Did you see Durant's comments when they asked him about winning about his starter, the guys he's playing with?
No.
He was basically like this. He looked at the starter sheet and he was like, "Well, it's me, Shannon Allen, Terry Reinhart, Tom Sinofani, Kevin Hastings. You expect us to win anything?"
He said that?
Yeah, he read off the other starters on his lineup.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you who it was. Here, I'll pull up their depth here for. It was let's see, Royce O'Neal started because Ben didn't start that game. It was Nick Claxton, Royce O'Neal, Durant. It might have been Patty Mills and Cam Thomas or something like that. And they asked him why they didn't win. Durant's like, "Did you see the starting lineup?"
Wow. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Kevin.
What's he supposed to do?
He could have sugarcoated it as well. We didn't have a lot of depth tonight. You know? I mean, you could have said something like that. Well, weren't at full strength tonight.
Maybe they shouldn't have asked you. That's the question.
Maybe the dumb reporter,
Maybe
he should have looked at the start lineup himself.
Yeah. Maybe they should not have asked him that.
Yeah, that's probably not.
So Durant, one thing interesting, and I've said this for a while, Terry, and I've always thought he should shoot more. And I'm sitting here looking at this. Kyrie comes back, and as soon as he comes back, he's shooting 5, 6, 7 more shots more than Durant. He has never took the most. For example, folks, Jordan, his career, Tom, averaged 22.5 shots a game. Okay? 22.5. He made 11 off 50-50. So that's 3 shots more than Durant takes a game. He's taken 19 a game throughout his career. And this year, again, 19 a game. and he's making 10 shots a game. So he's making, with 3 less shots a game, 1 more than Jordan was. And that's why I've always said he is so deadly from mid-range at 7 foot. You can't do nothing with that he should shoot almost every play that's not a 3. If it's not a 3, he should be shooting like Jordan. Shoot. And he sits there and lets Kyrie shoot 27 times. And it's just weird looking at that. So Luka Doncic shoots 23 times a game this year. He's leading the league in scoring at 34. Steph Curry with 20, 21 shots. Giannis at 21. Shai Gilgeous at 21. All those guys taking 21. And year after year, I can pull up his just individual and it'll go 19, 19, 19, 19. LeBron averages 21 over his career for the most part. If for the folks wondering about that, just some interesting little stat picks.
Mitchell averaging 30 points a game.
Right now, he is averaging exactly 30 points a game on 10.5 on 21. See, he's taking 2 more shots a game. 2 more shots a game than Durant is. And they've got a bunch of players on your team that can shoot better than Brooklyn does. He's letting Joe Ingles put up good. 7.
LeVert hasn't been
shots.
scoring too much.
Luka is leading the league in scoring at 34. Curry 32. Neither one of them's actually in the playoffs right now, right, Terry? Didn't I say Mavericks are out right now?
Yep.
A second ago. Giannis is the one. Shai Gilgeous is out. Jason Tatum sitting there at the 5 and 5th spot, folks, for what I meant there. Terry, any thoughts on Eastern Conference? Just Boston and Milwaukee, or anything else of note?
No, heck, we're not even halfway.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even, you're doing the best you can, trying to get what you can, because, you look at down there around the 500 records, some of them teams that are close to 500 are going to have a chance to get in. So if you can stay within that 500 record, like Miami's close, Chicago still has a chance at 8-11. If you go below Chicago, I don't think you have a chance unless you get on a 7 or 8 game winning streak. And I don't see Charlotte, Orlando, or Detroit even thinking about that.
No, Charlotte ain't got no chance. LaMelo, he comes in and shot like 27 times his first game too. So that was awesome from our point guard, and they lost. They're 6-14. They're done as done can be, as always. I hope they do bad enough, Terry, to have a top 5 pick. Our worst thing is we get good enough to end up with 10 and 13 every year, and then we have to send them all to the G League. The Gerald Henderson, every Duke player we draft, we have to send off to the G League. Maybe we should stop doing that.
But the G League's developing players. Ask Wiseman.
They are.
From Golden State. That's where he's at.
Wiseman's at the G League?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Because Golden State would rather lose with Draymond Green than put in a real center.
They know who the man is. They know exactly who the man is.
They would rather lose. Terry, why is he leading the team with a 10-10 record then this year? Yeah. Why are they 10-10, Terry?
I'm not going to answer questions like that.
I mean, what do you mean?
I guess Curry and them can't score. Thompson can't score.
Can't score on the road. Is that right? Are they 1-9 on the road?
Yeah. I'm not going to answer a question like that because the answer does not.
Good?
Yeah.
He should work for political campaigns, shouldn't he?
Yep.
Perfect. You should be the spokesman for the president. Well, whoever the president is. That was a great response.
Why is there inflation? I'm not going to answer that question. I respectfully decline to answer that question.
Oh, God. Well, I think the Hornets are done. Tom, I think you guys will end up in the top 4 or 5 seeds as long as you don't have no stupid injuries.
I'm just disappointed. Like they're not coming to Charlotte till March.
Yep, it'll be a while.
Usually they come.
It is a weird schedule the way they did it. I was looking at that. Let's go. Anybody else in the? Let's see. Defensive leaders. Gobert is leading in rebounding with Anthony Davis at 12.5. Blocks: Lopez, Turner, Anthony Davis, Claxton, and Bowl. Assist: Halliburton with 11 in Indiana. Trae Young, 9. Jokic, 8. Doncic, 4th, and Conley, 5th. All right, guys. Is that all you guys have on the NBA?
It's early. Yeah. We got some things got to shake out.
So this was a fun post. We mentioned this a few years or a few months back. Terry, so there were Shaq's kind of been in the news talking about people, and he gets someone posted out here. 94, 95, 96, 97, 99, Shaq swept 5-6 straight years. Wow. 1 year he won 1 game. That was against Utah. He got swept by Rick Smits, swept by Akeem Olajuwon, swept by Luke Longley, and then swept by Greg Ostertag, and then 4-1 Greg Ostertag. I always remember that when people say how good Shaq is. All right, Tom. If you'll again, let's see if there's anything else I wanted to get into. I didn't have that many saved tweets. I thought I had a couple this week. I know Bol had a couple of big games that was fun to watch. There was a play he blocked a shot last night, Terry. I don't know if you saw the highlights, but he ended up on the ground under the basket, and they went for a fast break. He blocked the shot in the other corner. They swung the ball around, and the ball come to the top of the key, and he was at half court, and they swung it all the way to the corner, and he just sprinted to the corner, and the guy shot him.
Well, it helps when your arms are 3 feet long.
Now the announcer was like, there is no place on the court that you're not safe from a block shot if you want it. But they're in the running. They could end up with this 7 to win by Yana guy too, and if they get him, they can start a whole starting lineup at 6'10" and above. The whole starting lineup could be 6'10" and above in Orlando next year if they do that. All right, Tom, how about you real quick read the scores from last night? Just read them, no comments.
Okay, I misunderstood you, sir. Mount Airy defeats Eastern Randolph 35-17. Drone defeats Andrews 42-21. So next week it'll be Drone visiting Mount Airy. Reedsville defeats Maiden 34-7. Burns defeats Monroe 49-40. So Burns will be traveling to Reedsville. Terry.
Oh, and it was South Point defeating Eastern Guilford 28-25, and East Lincoln over Kings Mountain 46-20. South Point gets to make a trip down to East Lincoln. It was Grimsley defeating Huff High School last night 40-37 in 3 overtimes. Next up for Grimsley will be the Weddington Warriors, a 17-10 win over AC Reynolds.
All right, we'll be back Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
Check out the fall service call special from Shelby Heated & Air. Shelby Heated & Air is now offering a fall service call special of just $55. But that's not all. Get up to $750 with a special Shelby Heated & Air discount on qualifying systems. Call today at 704-487-7877 and schedule your $55 service call appointment. Shelby Heated & Air. Online at shelbyheating.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. It's a sleigh full of savings. I mean, a truckload of savings at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center has just received a big new shipment of Samsung scratch and dented appliances, including Samsung washers, dryers, refrigerators, ranges, and dishwashers, and all with a 1-year warranty. Even Santa plans to buy at these prices at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, on the right going down, on the left coming up, and like them on Facebook too. Grizzly the Greeter is happy. He's got some real good news just in time for the holidays. Now through Monday, November 28th, take 10% off all metal buildings, carports, RV covers, barn dominiums, and greenhouses. They're locally built and features local installation. And buy now and get a guaranteed delivery time. Again, offer ends Monday, November 28th at Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes. Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right across the Mace. Online at blessedbuildings-tinyhomes.com.
The month of December is a big month at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. They have a great radio special for you. Mention this radio ad during the month of December and take $300 off. All you have to do is just mention this radio ad and get $300 off your choice of new or used vehicles. But that's not all. Mention this radio ad and take 15% off your service bill. Only from Classic Volkswagen, 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia. Online at classicvwgastonia.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. Like them on Facebook too. It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly. What's the best way to explain the golf at Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden? It's world-class golf for the working class. Yes, golf is never better than it is at the Glen Oaks Golf Course in Maiden, with special programs for seniors, men, ladies, and juniors, plus a driving range, banquet facilities, and a swimming pool, picnic area, and more. For your tee time or other questions, call 828-428-2451. The Glen Oaks Golf Course, 245 Golf Course Road in Maiden. It's world class for the working class.
Welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk, brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com. Kevin.
Welcome back to Saturday Sports Talk. I was trying to look up a box score last night. I do have my conspiracy theory of the week here for you, Tom.
All right, I can't wait.
All right, here we go. Last weekend, Stanford and Cal game. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Stanford and Cal. I know. I mean,
with no time on the clock, Stanford kicks a field goal to cut the lead and cover the spread. Down 10, Tom. No time on the clock. Kicked a field goal to cover the over-under by a point. Fixed or not fixed, Tom?
Yeah, that is a little interesting, isn't it?
Shannon, fixed or not fixed?
Yeah, that's fixed.
Terry?
Fixed.
Kicks immediately field goal.
Down 10.
It does
no
not mean
time
anything
on the clock.
No, it don't mean nothing.
Kicked a field goal to cover the over-under. Terry Bobo's last three games, 22-11 and 2 blocks, 15-10 and 2 blocks, 26-12 and 3 blocks. That was before last night's 18-8 and 4 blocks for the Magic. The rest of his starters, one of the starters had 0 points, another had 7, so those two helped out quite a bit. 0 points. This is the shooting guard. How are you a shooting guard in the NBA? 0 points. That's your job, Terry, isn't it? Like, that's your number one job.
And who's the shooting guard?
Jalen Suggs, whoever that is.
He come from Gonzaga.
Is that who that is? Good job, kid. Good job, kid. 0 points, 19 minutes. Wow. And I don't know any of these people off their bench. Gary Harris, is that the Michigan State guy with the skinny mustache? RJ Hampton, a Wagner, and a Houston. I know Bamba, and I know Banchero. Banchero's back. He was out for a couple games.
Excuse me. Didn't he go to Duke?
Yeah, Banchero is a Duke. Shannon, I got the tweet of the week for you. We're having a little fun before we go in the NFL. You ready for this one?
Mm-hmm.
This is a tweet. Y'all guys remember this, okay? I do not know if this is going to tweet right, but right now I'm talking to my refrigerator because what the heck, my mom confiscated all of my electronics again. Did you get all that, Shannon?
I did.
Hey, she tweeted from her refrigerator because her mama took her phone.
That doesn't surprise me the way society is now, at all. But I will say some of the funniest things you can find in this world are on Twitter. Some of that stuff's hilarious.
That was awesome. I'm just letting the world know I'm tweeting from my refrigerator. You couldn't just sit there and not tweet, right? Yeah. Couldn't just sit there and not do anything.
I mean, people couldn't
went outside, couldn't do anything. I thought that was awesome. All right, NFL action. Shannon, got a new quarterback again this week. Every time I see you, got to talk about your new quarterback situation.
Hey, we're priming the pump. That's what we're doing. We're trying to get ready for something.
I don't know what y'all doing.
I don't either. I don't think they do either. They get paid
it makes no sense.
To...
Just a few weeks ago, he come up and said Walker was the guy for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And I think then Tepper jumped in and says, no, it's either Baker or Donner. we got to play one of them, and we got to figure this out because I'm not paying both of them next year. And I think that's when all this started. Yeah. And now he's kind of stuck because now he, as an interim, he's just doing whatever big boss man needs him to do to figure out the end of this year because they don't have no playoff hopes. That's done. Just finish the year, and we'll go from there.
The one thing I like about P.J. Walker is that he wasn't, and I don't know if Baker is or even Darnold, but Walker would go throw it to Moore. He wasn't afraid to throw it to him. And you saw them have success with that until, he took his helmet off down in Atlanta, and I think, that messed his chances up there. But I think still P.J. is, I would never said this before, but he's your better option right now. But
wait, what? What'd you just say?
I think P.J. Walker's a better quarterback because he's not afraid to throw to Moore.
He was 3 of 10 his last game he played.
But he'll throw to Moore.
He was 3 of 10 the last game he played, Shannon.
I'm just saying, he's your better option.
What would the other two have went? 1 of 10?
I don't care. They all lost.
3 of 10. At least Julius
go to your best
Chasta
receiver.
Rat is a better option than P.J. Walker is right now. He is awful.
They should have never
cut P.J. Walker right now. They
should
have cut P.J. Walker when they fired Matt Rule because that's the only reason he's here.
Thanksgiving Day, you saw Dez Bryant throw to CeeDee Lamb how many times?
Dez Bryant has never thrown.
Not Dez Bryant, whatever his name is. Dak Prescott. I don't know why I was thinking Dez Bryant. Dak Prescott threw to CeeDee Lamb how many times?
Probably a good bit.
Yeah, and they were successful with it because he was the best receiver on Dallas's team. Carolina does not throw to DJ Moore unless P.J. Walker's in there. He's not afraid to throw to him.
Why would anybody else be afraid to throw to him?
I don't know. That doesn't make sense. And it's like because again, when Robbie Anderson was there, he was your go-to guy because he could spread the field. But DJ Moore would, he got his yards, but he just never seemed to be that go-to guy. And that's just my opinion. I don't know. They're done.
DJ Moore gets the 11th most targets per game.
How many?
11th most targets. No, I did that wrong. That was the total. He has 11th most targets in the NFL per game. He's down there 30-something.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think I looked at that right.
We are
Moore,
the Browns of the early 2000s. No offense to either one of you, but we are the Cleveland Browns of
Well,
yesterday.
it kind of bothers me because I know as you're sitting here, if you ain't got a legit quarterback and you're switching every week, you're not going to win.
No.
I don't care who you are.
No.
It's just not going to happen.
They got to figure out which one of those 4 is going to be their backup next year, I think.
That's what I'm saying. They gave up the season. They've already said season done.
And the sad thing is Baker Mayfield, he might not be in the NFL next year.
Yeah.
That guy's the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to take him? I mean, he might pull a Jameis Winston and go somewhere and sign for like $1 million to be a backup. But, I mean, I guess that's what it
I would rather have and I know you don't like him. I'd rather have Deshaun Watson next year than any of the 4 we've got right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't like his ability.
Video game wise, right? That's a great move. Video game wise, it's a great move.
Oh yeah,
too much baggage with Deshaun Watson.
So the Panthers also have a 3rd round quarterback sitting on the roster on injured reserve.
Yeah, kid from Mississippi?
Corral. Yeah, you've got 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
probably still paying Bridgewater too. I think.
Yeah. And Cam probably.
Baker Mayfield ruined his career making a tackle after an interception. That's what it's going to come down to. Was once he made that tackle on an interception, then hurt himself, then tried to play anyway, then was ineffective, then all the drama, then I'm quitting you. No, you're not quitting me. I'm quitting you, and then all this crap. And it just, I mean, it all. If he doesn't try to make that tackle in that game, I think he's still the quarterback of the Browns.
I was watching the last game, and the announcers were pointing out something that I'd said something kind of Terry about his footwork. I think that's the reason he gets a lot of his balls batted down and he misses the last second. Is he's got happy feet, and he doesn't plant them at the right time he's supposed to throw. Just watching from a quarterback's eye, it doesn't look right to me. I think he's got to. If he would fix that, I think he would fix a couple things. But again, Shannon, y'all are done. You got Denver, Seattle, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Tampa, and New Orleans, all
but Denver's
winnable games if you're a regular football team. But
you
said they were trying out P.J. Walker out there.
Somebody said you said the Panthers were done. I think aren't they still in the hunt to get a wild card, maybe, or even win the division?
So this is the thought that poisons your mind, right there. No, No, Shannon. Don't think we can.
Not reality.
We can win. We're one game out, Tom. Let's rally the troops with P.J. Walker and hope we win. Instead, you should tank like you could tank the worst of you shit ever.
I agree.
That you know that mentality's got the Charlotte Hornets, Mark Williams and Gerald Henderson and Cody Zeller for 10 years.
Yeah, but what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, here's
tank.
my deal. Tank. So you tank. Yeah. What do you go after? A quarterback?
I don't know.
I mean, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Make a pick out of what you got here and go with one guy.
Wait a minute, Terry. You think they have an NFL quarterback on the roster? Is that what you're saying?
Darnold. I still think Darnold's your quarterback. I mean, we go back to last year and he started 3-0, and then all of a sudden he daggum loses to Dallas, and then everything turns sour for him. Then he gets hurt. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so much there. I mean, that's like comparing now. If New York right now would take Darnold back in a second, if they could get him.
I don't know about that.
Well, they don't need Wilson. They've already said he's not playing. And then they said the white kid, I think that's the guy's taking his place, that they like him better than they do. Yeah, they like him better than they do Wilson anyway.
Well, Flacco's not getting a start is a shame. They're probably saving him for the playoffs because they don't want to get him hurt before then. That's the smart move. That's the smart move.
You got to make the playoffs
that's solid plan right there, Kevin. Solid
got to make the playoffs first.
Flacco's another one of his sweetheart players, by the way, if you haven't picked up on that yet.
I'd rather have Joe Flacco. I would love to have Joe Flacco at the Panthers, be a quarterback.
Yeah,
Tom,
you would, and you'd take Nick Foles, too.
Tom, only two quarterbacks have beaten Brady twice in the playoffs. One of them's Eli Manning. The other's Joe Flacco.
Way to go.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know.
Baltimore's defense had nothing to do with those victories, by the way.
Well, they helped out a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. But it was mostly Joe Flacco. He was actually in there playing safety, too.
Wait a minute, didn't the Ravens score 30-something in the Super Bowl he won?
Trying to remember. I can't remember.
I believe they did. I don't believe Ray Lewis helped at all in that one. They didn't even need him. He was inconsequential in that one, Tommy.
What happened to Ray Lewis? He was on TV for a while.
You know, he went into the witness protection program. They 34-7 in that ball game.
34-7.
Yep. Wow. Joe Flacco didn't throw one interception in that playoff run.
Wow. What do you mean? What do you mean? Witness protection program. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about? The Ray
Lewis? He was on TV for a while.
He was in a murder trial.
But he was on TV way after that.
He knows who murdered somebody.
NFL or anywhere for ESPN?
Yeah, he was on TV for a long time, Kevin.
They figured out maybe he's probably an asset they shouldn't have.
It took you that long to figure it out? I mean, that happened like before he got drafted.
Greg Olson's on TV right now.
I saw that.
And he does nasty raps on the internet.
When he was 21 years old.
Right. Would you let him hang out with Anna? Or his brother?
No.
Not his brother.
Tom?
No.
Would you let him or his brother hang out with Anna?
Probably not.
All right, that's all you need to know.
Probably not. See, I'm trying to find out what happened to him.
Him and Greg Olson and Deshaun Watson in the same categories.
No, I definitely would not let my daughter hang out with him. I will say that.
Greg Olson's he's a good family guy, though. You know, he does a lot for the.
We'll talk about that off air. We'll talk about that off air.
I've seen the video, not that video, but
no. What I mean is, does he do anything with other kids that don't have diseases that his kids have?
Now, okay, I got you. Yeah,
you got me. A lot of guys give a lot of charity, but it happens to be the kids that their kids have,
like Doug Flutie.
Their own kids have. Y'all give money to help. I'm just saying.
It makes sense.
There's always something a little weird. I just don't trust the Olsons at all. At all. Anything about him. Again, if he was somebody different, he would not get the opportunities that he has had on TV. If he looked like, I don't know, he just would not.
He went to Miami. He was at Miami during that run, and I think that helped him out a lot too. But
no, he's a big, tall, good-looking white boy. That's why he's on television, Shannon. Well, if you want to get to it, that's why he's on television.
Tight end.
That's why he's
on
television.
Tight end.
Yeah, he's a deviant, is what he is. He shouldn't be on TV at all. At all. I can't go enough into him. Yeah, I can't go enough. He's not a good person. Sorry about that. Sorry about if I ruined you, Panthers fans. Look him up and his brother. Apples don't fall far. I guess they've hung out before. Anyway, let's pick some games here in a minute. But Joe Flacco is 10th all time, Shannon, I think, in playoff wins, if I do remember correctly. And Tom hates on that. The only person he's ever beat Tom in the playoffs, do you know? You remember?
No.
Armani Edwards.
Oh my God.
Ain't that right, Terry? Ain't that right, Terry? Mm-hmm. Brady has the most, obviously. Playoff wins. Did that do Super Bowls? Playoff records. That's just showing that. All right. Anyway, picking games this week. Who the Packers got this week, Shannon? Who'd you say? Denver Broncos.
3-8, I think, or 3-7.
Are you going to manage that game?
What?
Can they win that game?
No. They won't win.
Terry likes Sam Darnold. Is he going to beat your Russell Wilson territory?
No. Denver wins.
I'm going to pull these up here in just a second. Where's that game at?
Who cares?
Yeah, it wouldn't matter, but I think it's. Is it in Charlotte? I don't know.
Who cares, Terry?
Well, when you go by the NFL, it's pretty close. I mean, don't get me wrong, the home teams have won more, but the visitors are not far behind on victories also.
Quarterback play is awful.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you talk about home, hey, they're playing at home, they're that good at home, that don't mean a thing in the NFL.
I think they're playing in Charlotte, yeah.
It's probably about 60-40.
1 o'clock game. Huh?
60-40 home team wins.
Is it? Well, I mean, that's.
Yeah, it's
I don't know
something like that.
I don't know if that's regular or not.
I've got it at the house because I'm serious. I've got it. That's what I'm saying. I do have it because, I mean, half the time, I mean, when you go every week, it's like 8-6, maybe 7-6, it depends. And I don't count over in London and Germany and all them places because to me, that's not home field.
All right. Let's see. Browns and the Buccaneers this week, Tommy. Is it next week that Watson comes back?
Yeah.
Next week. So Deshaun Watson is practicing with the team. And then he comes back for the playoff run, right, Tom?
Yeah, hopefully he's playing defense.
Yeah. He's playing Houston, though, is he not?
Is he going both ways when he comes back? We could use some help on defense. Tampa Bay is going to slaughter us. I mean, it's not even going to be close.
Well, Tom, hold on a second before you get to that. Tampa has, let's see, here's their points this year. 19, 20, 12.
Yeah, they've not been scoring.
Lost with 30, won with 21, 18, 3, 22, 16, 21. Only one time all season have they scored more than 20.
Yeah, and it's like same thing.
I don't know if they're going to get
San Diego's last in the league in rushing, go up against Cleveland over 200 yards. So, I mean, it's just that happened again. I can't remember. It was in Miami. Oh, Miami's terrible rushing the ball. I think they had like 150, 200 yards. I don't even want to. The Browns have just. I don't even want to talk about it. It's so bad. It's so bad right now. It's bad.
All right, Tommy. Terry, who you got?
Bucks.
Yeah, Tampa.
Where did these go? Browns win this one. Jacoby Brissett.
That's cute.
Is he still the quarterback?
No. Let me change my mind. No, he's not going to win this one. If Deshaun Watson was playing, they'd win this game. I don't think that. We'll talk about the Bucks. We'll go Bucks, Terry. Bengals at Titans. Joe Burrow. I need to pull up these defenses because I need to double check on some of this stuff. Joe Burrow at the Titans, guys. Shannon, who you got?
Give me Burrow and the Bengals.
Give me the Titans.
Bengals.
Bengals about 15th in points. Titans 6th. We'll go Titans on this one for the win. Is Derrick Henry playing?
Yeah.
He's not hurt or anything, is he? Texans at Dolphins. Anybody going Houston Texans on this one?
I got Dolphins.
With the backup quarterback in?
Yeah.
Chickens.
You want to take them?
Nope. Game in hell this week. Bears and Jets. You've got Mike White against whoever Justin Fields' backup is.
How's this a game in hell? Just
Mike White against whoever Justin's Field backup is, Tom. You sitting up in heaven and Jesus watching that one, or are you going to flip the channel?
The Jets have a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, with a new quarterback.
Tom, are you going to watch Mike White tomorrow at 1 o'clock against?
No.
Okay, then.
I'm taking my daughter back to Charlotte. Be listening to the Browns game and, being disgusted with the world, but I think the Jets are going to win this game at home.
So, Tom, all right, Tom, I want you to find another nomination for the game in hell, and it might be Broncos and Panthers. But...
Washington Washington's got a winning record. I think I got the game in hell. Go ahead.
I'm going Bears.
Who's their backup quarterback? Who's their backup quarterback?
Who cares? You're playing the
Terry.
Jets.
They're 1-5 on the road.
Terry.
They're 1-5 on the road.
Tom, you can't tell me who to pick.
Terry, do you base anything on any kind of logic whatsoever?
Jets giving up 18.
You got a new quarterback coming in for the Jets. You know what he's going to do is probably throw 2 or 3 picks.
But the Bears got a new quarterback coming in too.
Yeah, but he's going to run the ball.
Well, Who is it? Who's their backup quarterback, Terry?
It says Fields listed.
He doesn't know who their backup quarterback is.
Trevor Siemian.
But I know the Jets are at home and they have a good defense.
Siemian.
That's all I need. Trevor Siemian, who's been with the Broncos.
I'm going with the Jets.
Jets. Jets.
Jets.
Okay.
Go ahead with the Bears.
Remember how I picked the lines?
I want to put an asterisk though. I think if
wrong,
Fields start, the Bears probably might win. But anyway, Jets giving up 18, the Bears giving up 25. So it's a whole touchdown.
They probably might win. That's great.
You like that one?
Probably might. They probably might.
Falcons and not Redskins, Commanders, 5-6, 6-5. Both teams on the edge of the playoffs. Falcons trying to win their division. Commanders trying to fight for a wild card right now. Shannon, who you got? Commanders favored by 4.
Commanders.
Yep, that's also best division in NFL right now.
I can't call them the Commanders. Washington.
Jeez. Heineke against Mariota. Great football we've got here, guys. I blame Nick Saban. Commanders.
Terrible.
Their defense is at least top 20, 12. They are 12th in defense.
Should have left them the Washington football team.
Atlanta's still 25th. They're awful.
Better than the Guardians, though. I like the Commanders than the Guardians.
I did see a Guardian shirt the other day at the sports store. I about bought it, but it was full price. I'm like, well, who's paying full price for that? Broncos at Panthers. We did that a minute ago, right? We already did that.
Yeah. No, only 2 people picked.
I got Broncos.
That is the game in hell.
Yeah.
3-7 at 3-8.
Carolina.
Do you watch the Broncos?
Have I?
I mean, lose that game against the Raiders. Did you watch them last week? Yeah. Oh my God! Did you watch that, Terry? Yeah. That was terrible.
Well, who are you taking?
Me? Broncos.
Broncos should probably win this game 10-9.
Yeah, it's gonna be awful.
Ravens and Jaguars. Anybody got Jaguars?
The Jaguars at home. I'll take the Jaguars.
Shannon, you taking your boy?
I'm gonna take the Jaguars because the Ravens looked awful last week against Carolina.
Oh my!
And it wasn't nothing because of what Carolina did.
Terry, they're stupid. Ravens.
Trevor Lawrence. There you go.
Trevor's been playing better. Yeah, he's been playing better. I still hate Clemson, but Trevor's playing better.
Yeah, that was an awful pick. Chargers at Cardinals. I usually don't prejudge your picks.
I don't know if Kyler Murray's playing. I mean, he's
supposed to be back.
I don't know. Okay, I like the Chargers. The Cardinals are falling apart.
They're 1-5 at home.
Yeah, that's hometown. They got Murray.
That's because nobody who lives in Arizona is from Arizona.
I'll take
no home field advantage.
I'll take the long lost son of Bobby Hebert and the Chargers to win this one. Raiders at Seahawks. Geno. Raiders are just been garbage this year. It's terrible.
They weren't garbage last week in overtime. That was terrible. Yeah, I like the Seahawks at home.
Yep. Seattle.
Rams and Chiefs.
Look at 15 and a half.
Seahawks.
15 and a half? Wow.
Chiefs favored by 15 and a half against the Rams this year. How the mighty have fallen. Super Bowl champs.
Well, they bought their
3-7.
They bought their Super Bowl last year.
Chiefs.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs.
Tom, would you like the Browns to buy a Super Bowl?
I mean, I'd take it.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Chiefs. Well, you asked me why they were terrible this year. I said they bought their Super Bowl last year.
Just want to make sure what we
You taking the Rams, Tom?
I am not.
Okay.
Saints, after the win last week, they go to San Fran this week. 49ers hosting the Aints. 49ers favored by 9.5. Shannon?
Yeah, give me 49ers.
Me also 49ers.
Jimmy G.
What college did Jimmy G go to?
Oh, gosh.
Come on.
I used to know that.
You got to know it.
I used to know what college Jimmy G went to. I forgot.
Who they playing today? Eastern Kentucky.
Jimmy G went to Eastern Kentucky?
I heard that. I don't know if it's true. You may want to look it up.
Thanks a lot.
I know it's true. I think it is.
The Walking Sports Almanac here, folks. Is that true? I don't know. What?
I swear, I think it's right.
Trivia question of the day.
Trivia question. Is that right?
I think it's right.
I don't know if it's right.
He did.
I heard it at the gas station.
He did get
Heard it at the gas station. That's great. Shannon Allen here, our expert. We got.
Where did he go? Did he go?
Hey,
is that where he went?
Yes.
See, the guy knew what he was talking about. See?
Gas station knowledge,
gas station.
brother.
I got 49ers. I don't know if anybody else has that. Packers and Eagles. Shannon.
Eagles.
Terry.
Oh, man.
You got to pick them.
No. Green Bay.
Packers are awful. Green Bay. Excuse me. Eagles.
Eagles with the win. Steelers at Colts Monday Night Football. Jeff Saturday and Mike Tomlin facing off. Colts favored by 2.5.
Colts.
Steelers.
You're on the road.
That's fine. Mike Tomlin's seen more film study than Jeff Saturday has. He's got 2 games on Saturday now.
But Jeff Saturday never tried to trip somebody running for a touchdown before. Mike Tomlin has.
Wait a minute. I'm sure Jeff Saturday has tripped a lot of people in his day.
Yeah, but while he's playing center, it's different from the coach going out there sticking a foot out there like a Marx Brothers movie or something. Mike Tomlin.
All right, a couple quick notes. In the AFC currently, guys, there was all 4 teams in the AFC were in the playoffs. The Patriots have been bumped right now. Kansas City would be the 1 seed with a bye. Playoffs started today. The Jets would go to Buffalo. Cincinnati would go to Tennessee. And Miami would go to Baltimore in your AFC playoffs. In the NFC, 1 seed would be Philadelphia with a bye. Washington's on the outside looking in right now, so almost 4 teams in the so both the AFC and EFC East teams all have winning records. We'll go over that in just a second real quick. Eagles have the 1 seed, so the playoff start day would be Seahawks at Minnesota, Giants at San Francisco, and Dallas in Tampa would be the playoffs today. Real quick, of course, the standings. All the teams in the AFC East with a winning record. Only 1 team in the South, 1 team in the West, 2 in the North with winning records. In the NFC East, all the teams with a winning record. No teams in the South. Combined, I think only the East teams have winning records in all the divisions. So all the other divisions are under 500 collectively in the East in both the AFC and NFC.
How was Dallas 5th if we went to the playoffs right now?
Because Philadelphia.
Because they're the only 5th best team in the conference.
Take your top 4
That's right.
winners.
Never mind. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay.
They would have to go to division winner Tampa Bay, Shannon, in the first round as the top wild card there. I'm sure Dallas would rather be in the 7th spot and go to Minnesota than Tampa or San Francisco in the first round. Minnesota, you seem got that number there, Terry. Detroit's in the 10 seed. Faint dead away. All right, guys. That'll do it. Tom, one more time.
Shelby heating it.
Hold on. Real quick. Here you go, Shannon. This is the stat you were looking for. Most all-time playoff wins. Joe Flacco has more than Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Bart Starr, Kurt Warner, Patrick Mahomes, Eli Manning, Dan Marino. Respect that man.
That's wonderful. Once again, Saturday Morning Sports Talk brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. Check them out online, shelbyheating.com. Thank you for listening to Saturday Morning Sports Talk. We'll be back next week.
As always, Joe Flacco is elite.
won't he do